stuff like I hear stories like that, and I'm like, it sounds like everyone was down to clown.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's a huge percentage of what you would call loyalist people in the north who are like the ones that are pro England and pro. They consider themselves British. They're everything, and like so that's what leads to a lot of the conflict.
We had some of those over here too. We shot them.
Yeah, that was a good move. Very good move. I would say that was the right idea.
Yeah,
Tories was the word we used.
If there's any Irish listeners here who think that I am either A, wrong about the history, or B, upset with me saying that, you can suck me from the back. I don't care.
You're listening to the Art and War podcast with your hosts Mitch and Nathan. Mitch is a former airborne infantry squad leader who now spends most of his time coaching soccer. Nathan is a professional illustrator and an avid shooter with a couple of years of Canadian military experience. Together they run the Seaburn art page. Enjoy the show.
Oh no. That was motivated. That was timed and planned.
That was timed, like
what?
I just watched the new Halloween movie the other day, so it's in my head.
That's what you were thinking of.
Yeah, the entire movie. What if he did a rape?
So
hey, just one.
Yeah, just Michael gets cancelled like for like doing an actual rape. Like the town's like, this is the final straw, Michael.
There goes old Michael Me Too Myers. I got it.
So today we have Isaiah Wendigoon joining us again, and we have Lucas, also known as Garrett from Schizocast, filling in for
BR,
who disappeared. I assume he's dead.
He could be. It's the season
he
for
could
it.
be.
He's fighting skinwalkers.
I sent him a message saying to like just join in from the Zencaster thing, and if he doesn't, I'm going to assume he's dead, and I'm going to fly down there and steal his rifle. But
that's a good idea, I think.
Yeah,
he's British though, so you may need to clean it first.
Oh no, 100%. That thing's getting like a Lysol bath.
Excellent. Glad we're on the same page. But no, thank you boys very much for having me on. I had a great time last time, and it's always good to talk with guys I like. So absolutely happy.
Likewise. And thank you, Isaiah, for coming on, and Lucas for. I keep on wanting to call you Garrett while we're on the air.
I know, because we got used to that thing. But I used to do it to try and give me some level of anonymity, and I thought I just did not give a fuck anymore. So
full name, social security.
Here's my bank account details. Here's my phone number. Here's my house. Like, just it's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck.
The Irish still won't find you.
No, we won't. I said earlier that like if I ever was worried about getting no-knocked or some shit, I know for a fact that before it even got to a level of someone giving a shit enough to actually come find me, they couldn't even find me with my fucking full name and address. It's so shit here. It's insane.
Just a year later, 2 drunk Garda guys come to your door.
Yeah. And again, like I said, they just knock it up like, do you have a gun? I'd be like, no. They're like, all right, goodbye, and they just leave. So the only time I've ever seen a gun used in Ireland was when I watched a Garda detective threaten a homeless man with his Glock, and I was like, based.
Oh no, please.
So Mitch had an idea for this podcast, and then he disappeared, and I assume he's dead as well. We were all going to watch the same piece of horror media and then talk about it later, and then literally none of us did that or talked about it at all.
Excellent.
Well, maybe we can find someone. Maybe we can find someone we've all watched. What do you guys watch recently or in the past while? Any sort of horror related content? I imagine Wendigoon you probably have a lot.
General, like as a I don't know, like a concept.
Yeah, that's pretty much constantly what I consume every day and then try to reproduce. That's about me. Yeah.
Have you seen the new Halloween movie? Because I watched that the other day.
I haven't seen it. I watched what was the first one they did in the new series.
So they just did like a Halloween. It was the 2018 one. They did Halloween Kills, then Halloween Ends.
That's right. Yeah, I haven't seen Kills or Ends.
Yeah, I haven't seen those either.
The first one.
Yeah, so like the latest one, it's decent. I mean, it's one of those ones that I always say I like a lot of media I know no one else fucking will, so I find it hard to recommend. I can't be like, oh yeah, go watch this, because I'm like, I liked it, but most people probably won't. It's basically, do you ever see the horror movie Christine about the fucking car? Yeah, so it's just the plot of Christine. There's a dude in the town who's like
Michael Myers turns into a car.
It's exactly what happens. He's a transformer. Is Michael Bay comes Linkin Park plays at the end. Is Michael's like there is like a fucking meat truck at the end.
All right, I take it back. I have to see this movie.
I am watching this. Like, I'm going to watch this literally tomorrow.
So basically, like a nerd that gets blamed for like a random kid's death, but that's not his fault. Befriends Michael, who's now living as a homeless man in the sewers, and that's like the gist of it. He's like, I'm gonna be Michael now, and he starts like trying to kill people and shit. And he gets a few good licks in, and then Jamie Lee Curtis kicks the holy fuck out of him. So like that's the basics of the movie. It's not bad. It's like an interesting concept at least, because like the last ones have just been, you know, Michael killing people as usual. So like at least they tried something new.
Interesting.
Spoiler for Halloween ends in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He is unequivocally dead at the end of the film. They like, you know when every watch a horror movie and you're like, why has no one thought to just like cut his head off or like, you know, absolutely decimate him? They always like shoot him in the shoulder and like, it's over, he's finally dead, and then he gets like back up or whatever. Like this, they put him in a fucking meat grinder. The whole town is in on it. They're just like, yeah, he has to go like in the fucking grinder. Let's go.
Maybe we should put up some spoiler. Like,
nah, they deserve it. This is what they get.
You. If it's been out on fucking streaming and thing for like a week. If you haven't watched it, you should kill yourself.
We care about the listeners. What kind of podcast is this? Where do I hang up at? This isn't my vibe.
Dick. All the listeners can suck me from the back. I don't give a fuck. Okay.
Oh Christ!
No, genuinely, tell PR to put in like a spoiler thing or some shit. I do feel bad.
Yeah, PR, you got to deal with that. Also, you know the ending now. Fuck you.
Says all of that, and then is immediately like, "Nah, but for real, the fans, they deserve it."
I love them, really. I do. No. I always say the funniest thing. I do actually love the fans of this, because like the day that the Queen died, I got 3 messages from unknown accounts on Instagram, and they were all listeners, and they all just said congratulations. I was like, thank you very much, boys.
Incredible. They know. They just know.
Yeah.
The funniest thing to me is someone completely unaffiliated with anything to do with the Queen was opening Twitter, and it was like trending in England, rest in peace, Her Majesty. Trending in Ireland, crab rave.
Yeah. It was like it was shit like it's happening and like shit like that. Like there was like the funny thing is when people make messages out, they were like, I hope you're out celebrating. I literally was at a bar. Like,
that's incredible. Was the bar like packed full of people?
Mm-hmm. Whole country was fucking losing it. It was great. There was like chants at like football games and shit, and like it was like everyone being like just incredibly hyped. And like the thing is, realistically, we all know this means absolutely fucking nothing. This doesn't like change anything for us, doesn't affect anything. But it's just like anytime the Brits, symbol. Yeah, you know, the Brits get kind of fucked a little bit. We're like, yeah, you know, like,
that's just the spirit.
Yeah.
I respect the resolve because it's consistent, right? There's so many countries who like are wishy-washy back and forth, but man, the Irish hate the British, and that
I do remember like
they are good at it.
All these American Twitter users being like, "Holy shit!" Like people are giving us shit for not being more respectful of it, the Queen dying. Look, check out Irish Twitter, and just like all these like memes and posts and shit.
Yeah, people you sent me a supercut of just like Irish people dancing.
Yeah, straight up like
Irish people dancing.
It's one of those things makes me proud to be Irish. I'm like, yeah, just like in general, this country's like that. We just zero fucking reverence for like anything, even our own history. We just rip the shit out of it constantly. Like there was a sketch comedy show run by a guy called Dave McSavage, used to be on like our national broadcaster, and one of the running bits in it would be like a father walking along with like his young son, and then McSavage running dressed as a priest, and just yank the kid out of his arms and sprint off with him. So like we just make fun of fucking everything. Like
that's pretty good.
Ireland. It's such a pity, kind of like culturally, what happened to Ireland over the last couple of generations. But at the same time, I'm glad the spirit's still there.
Like it's wild to me that like we're built on essentially the same level of rebellion, if not more, than like America. Yet we happily gave up all of our guns immediately. And I'm like, how did this happen? How the fuck did this? Like, where did that spirit go? What the fuck?
Yeah.
It is interesting to watch where that happens, because the similar things happened in the States where people will like trade their autonomy for like security to a degree, or not even security, just like normalcy, right? To like maintain a status quo, because it's a false security. But like there has been the remnant who's like, if you ever look at my Papa shotgun. I'll kill your family. And they're
Like, dude,
still here. They're still here.
like that's the only like type of American that Irish people know. Like they all just assume everyone's like that over there. Like,
And I can confirm it's not, but I'm glad you think that way. Keep it up. That means a lot to me.
Speaking of people getting killed by meat grinders, have either of you guys ever seen the movie The Story of Ricky? Like Riki-Oh?
oh, Riki-Oh, yeah.
I have not. That was a heck of a transition.
Oh, dude,
I don't know.
I will. I'm gonna type the name of it into the chat so that you can check it out later, Isaiah. But holy fucking
Riki-Oh,
shit!
okay.
I watched this with Nathan while
Oh,
drunk
right,
on.
we did.
We watched it drunk on. It was like cider mixed with fucking orange juice or some shit. Like drunk as shit in your house. Like everyone else is asleep. Two of us are just cackling like retards downstairs. Like it is
like
one of the
6 years
funniest fucking
ago.
things I've ever seen.
This looks like a
it's
karate movie.
it's a karate kind of.
It's like if
What
like
is this decapitated head? What am I looking at?
the whole film is like if Superman was mentally retarded, like, and gets sent to jail. Like this dude goes to jail, and my favorite scene is he's put in a room that's gonna crush him, like this, like the ceiling's coming down, right? And he just dives through like solid steel, like it's nothing. Like this dude just head first, boom, like right through, and just gets up and walks off. Like at the end of the film, he punches down the prison wall, which he apparently could have done the entire time. It's incredible. It's so good.
These pictures can't be real.
Which
These
one?
screenshots? It's like I don't even want to describe them. It's like
Please.
There's like the fat prison warden whose head pops. There's like
there's it looks like he has a grenade in his mouth and he's covered in white goo.
yeah. That's the thing.
Okay.
No, it's all real. Every single moment of it is real.
Why
If
why
you're going
does
to-
the comics have the Star of David all over them?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe he's Jewish. I'm
I
not
don't know
sure.
anything about the. Oh my god, there's comics too.
Yeah,
I didn't even know
What
those
on
existed.
Earth?
he's Jewish Superman and Asian.
And Asian. Oh my god.
I don't think the public should know about whatever this is.
It's all on YouTube for free, and it fucking
It
rules.
is.
It's so good.
It is the best movie that is possibly
The
ever
first
been
time
made.
he fights the dude comes at him, and Riki-Oh just puts his arm directly through him, and then just walks away.
I forgot about that. He just punches like a.
This actually looks pretty cool.
It
Like,
rules.
scrolling
There's a
through
scene.
it.
The whole
I'm
thing's
genuinely surprised you, Isaiah, have not seen it. It
I-
seems like
I'm
This is-
surprised
thi-
I haven't at least heard of it. That's
This is a
insane.
YouTube video, dude. This is a new video where you like straight up just watch this and talk about it. Like it's so funny. One of the opening scenes is like it's revealed that he was like shot by like the mob or some shit, whatever. And he goes going into prison. He walks through a metal detector and it goes off, and they X-ray his stomach, and he still has the bullets inside of him that he refuses to remove. He just got 6 bullets inside of him.
Hello, base department.
Yeah.
it
That's
is possibly
fantastic.
just like the best movie that exists ever of all time.
Just
I don't
the
think any
name as
people are-
well, Riki-Oh, the story of Ricky.
They're
I'm
direct
not
to
going
the
to
point.
spoil
I
the Meat
like it.
Grinder scene. It's wonderful, and like I just watched that like new VHS movie and all of that. I really like indie horror.
VHS 99.
Yeah, it was.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to.
It's a mixed bag, like most of them are.
Yeah, but I have fun with all of them. Like
Yeah,
even
same.
Viral, which was the worst. I'm like, oh, this is
Oh my
incredible.
Was that the one? All I remember is that one sequence of like skateboarders fighting skeletons.
Yeah, I think
That was from Viral.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
Viral.
that was
Yeah.
ass. But yeah, no,
Viral's
they're
kind of
generally
like
fun.
a hole in my brain. I liked the one that it was like an alternate reality or something.
Where the
With
women have
penis
like
vagina
giant
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah, it was
That,
fucking
I don't know
wild.
how someone thinks of that stuff. I loved
Yeah.
it. That was pretty good.
I want to
the
see the
be-
new Terrifier really bad.
Oh fuck!
Terrifier looks pretty good. Yeah.
Yes,
The first
it's
one
out.
was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Ter-
I agree. Just like
Terrifier's
some of the like genre films like that are just fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of like found footage movies too.
Yeah,
Um,
same. If they're done
and
well, which
if they're done well,
obviously any-
and like VHS hits a good stride of like both being good films and just being fun in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super pumped for 99. I liked 94 a lot, especially things like Ratma.
Yeah.
And the one about the militia was fantastic. They have a vampire. That was so cool. I love that. What a creative idea. It was beautiful. Yeah.
It's just,
That was so cool.
I was watching that with my friend. He just like the militia comes on. He just looks at me and he gives me the side eye. Like, these are your friends.
Yeah, I was watching it for the first time with my girlfriend, and like 2 minutes in, I'm like, oh, they're supposed to be weird.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty cool,
I
actually.
get it. Yeah. I'm like, these guys, they're portrayed kind of, oh, yeah, I forget we're the bad guys. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. But yeah,
No,
it was really
they're
good. I
fun.
really liked that like the cyber psychosis one, the where they put that girl's head in. They replace her head with a camera and they turn it into this
Yes.
weird
Yeah.
cyborg.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That one goes
It had some of
pretty
the
hard.
worst CG in anything I've ever seen ever, but the practical effects, fantastic. It knew what it was. It was just
The head on the spider was like a great effect. I think about that one a lot.
yeah.
Like the spider robot head thing. That was cool. The whole movie's cool. I love those guys to death. I think it was this. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the same director who did that one was the same director who did the Papa short in VHS 2. The one about the cult.
What's his name? The Indonesian director who did.
Yeah.
I think he worked on The Raid and The Raid 2, which are
Oh,
like,
those movies
two
are
of my
fantastic. Yeah.
favorite movies of
Oh,
all
fucking
time.
what's his name? I love that dude. He's a Welsh dude. He does like all of his films are Asian.
Yeah, I think it's someone in the creative team, but it's not the
Straight up,
director.
he's Welsh.
Yeah.
Hold on. What's his name again? Gareth Evans. Yeah, dude's,
I don't think he's made by Gareth Evans because like he has a very distinct style in his action choreography that I didn't see in this. But like you look at the muzzle flash alone, it's like this is not made by Gareth Evans.
Understandable.
Yeah, no, he does a lot of CG. He does a lot of CG muzzle flashes and blood splats and shit like that. I think it's more like it's like to do with like a time thing. Like you think it's do it quicker, so like he focuses more on the choreography and stuff like that instead of having set up like like blood packs and shit. But no, I love Gareth Evans shit. He directed a few episodes of a really good British TV show, Gangs of London, and like he did like 3 episodes, and you can very specifically point out the 3 episodes that are his because like there's just these like intense fight scenes. And then like there's just like the rest of the episodes is just, like nothing like similar at all. So like, there's a fight scene in like a bar where this like massive black dude just absolutely decimates a bunch of guys. Like one point like pulls the dude around the edge of the bar by the leg and then just snaps his leg across the edge of the bar. Like just brains a dude with a fucking glass ashtray, like shit like that. Like uses a dart like as like a fucking weapon. Like it rules.
What movie is this?
It's a series called Gangs of London. How you suggested it's good.
That is, I think you suggested that. I'm going to watch that. I just looked up the guy's filmography, the guy who directed that segment. I'm so sorry. This is probably boring for like 99% of people, and I don't care. Different director. He actually did Netflix's The Night Comes For Us, which I love.
Dude, that ruled. That was so good.
That movie fucking ruled. And it was a lot of the cast from The Raid, which I think is why I'm mixing it up.
Fair. Yeah, no, that Night Comes For Us was fucking awesome. That was great.
Yeah. Fantastic like action choreography and everything. We have not talked about horror other than Michael Myers doing a rape.
There's like the tagline for like the movie being like the most heinous crime committed, and it's just like the 5 minutes of Michael committing a rape followed by like a solid hour of just like him getting cancelled over
5 minutes. For a movie,
it's
for a
incidental.
movie scene like that would be like 8 hours. It would
like,
feel like the longest.
It's literally the movie Irreversible.
Straight up, yeah. Can you imagine Irreversible with Mike Myers?
I shouldn't be laughing at this.
Holy shit, that would be the most terrifying thing ever.
It would be. Probably.
Holy shit. But
Mike,
huh?
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say Mike Myers was scary back in the day before he got memed to death.
Yeah.
Partially the movie's fault. Actually, mostly the movie's fault.
My girlfriend went to see the Halloween 2018 one. She was really confused. Genuinely turned to her friend, completely serious. Like, I thought, like, which one is like the guy from Austin Powers? And they were like, no, it's Michael Myers. It's not the same thing. And she was like, why the fuck am I here? And she's like,
that's pretty funny.
She was genuinely confused.
Where's Austin?
Yeah, straight
Bring
up.
me Austin.
Is Fat Bastard in this one? Like, what's the story? Like,
it's Fat Bastard.
Holy shit.
You just trick her into watching a movie. She thinks it's an Austin Powers sequel.
I'm gonna start doing that with every film that I watch now. I'm gonna tell her Mike Myers is in it. I'm just gonna be wrong.
Everyone. Just
Mike Myers in Irreversible. Yeah,
Austin
baby.
Powers iterate.
That guy's in some weird movies. Just like he'll
Yeah.
just
He's got
show
like
up.
he's got some new, I don't know if it's a series or movies on Netflix, the Pentavariate or some shit. It's like a weird thing where it's about like an Illuminati style group and he plays all the characters again.
Huh. Interesting. That's pretty
Interesting. Like
That's
I
fine. I like that.
I wonder if it's good. I actually really like old school Mike Myers, but at the same time, you know, it could be really hit or miss, and a lot of the humor doesn't really land now
Yeah.
because I'm old and decrepit and cynical. But
Now that
Are-
I'm old.
This episode is brought to you by Advanced Warfighting Solutions. Advanced Warfighting Solutions, they have quite literally everything that you need to be a lethal, super cool Instagram operator, and also just a super cool actual operator, or just a super cool civilian, or just whatever the fuck you want. They have battle belts, plate carriers, assault packs, pretty much anything nylon, they got it. So be sure to check them out. Use code ARTMORE10 on an SMU war belt, and you'll save some money. We don't get any kickback, you just save money. Huge thank you to them for supporting the show.
How's it going, lads and ladies? I'm BR, producer of the show, here to take a quick break to tell you about our Patreon. Not only do we want to continue improving the quality of what we can do here on Art and War, but we want to push what we do all over at Seaburn Art, from the guides to pursuing video content and the lofty goal of having a space for our team to make it all happen, and the Patreon helps us get after it. But what's in it for you? Our Patreon subscribers enjoy 5 different tiers of exclusive perks, ranging from all of the content the lads would post on a pre-Zuckerberg Instagram, downloadable high-resolution guides and targets including Redcoats, Skinwalkers, John Harvey Kellogg, World Economic Forum cult leaders, and more. Also, behind-the-scenes info like Nathan's personal art, spicy memes, and at our highest tier, get monthly art commissions created by Nathan himself. You can find our Patreon via the link in this episode's description at patreon.com/SeaburnArt or in the Seaburn Art page's bio on Instagram. Now let's get back to the show.
I've been going down a lot of holes recently with like creepypasta and whatnot. Like I'll lie in bed and read just like the same kind of stories I read when I was 16, 17, you know, like a kid, like SCPs, like the backrooms, all of that stuff. And I don't know where I was going with this. The thought
I think
just
there's
dropped in my head.
That,
you
that was
can
leading into a confession somehow.
I think you can see like a direct correlation between like declining IQ and generations, but the fact that we all read that like creepypasta shit and we're like, this is clearly a story, and then nowadays there's like 13-year-olds murdering their friends because they think Slenderman's real.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's happened more than once.
That was pretty wild. Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole proxy thing. I remember
Yeah.
that as being like the quintessential death of the character.
Yeah, straight up. Because like I remember explaining this. Like, of course, my fucking mother reads this on the internet. She's like, "This is terrible," and I was like, "This shit was around when I was like 12, right?" I was like, "This was like the thing is that everyone just knew it wasn't fucking real because like you were on these forums or like these groups where guys were like literally writing the stories, and you knew that like, oh, we're all playing into this idea that this is like a a real life fiction like thing or whatever, but it's all clearly fiction." I said, and then you take dipshit children with zero internet literacy, who aside from TikTok, and just go like, yeah, this is a real thing. Here's all these documents, and they think it's fucking legit.
Yeah. Here's some documents and zero adult supervision. Go do your thing.
Yep. Have fun, kids. Yeah, there's definitely some like mental illness there, I'm sure. And then you combine like just free access to anything in that degree. And did the girl die, or did she almost die?
I think she died. Hold on.
I'm gonna Google this.
I can't remember.
Slenderman
Now we're just talking about child murder.
My favorite topic.
No, it's a stabbing, not killing. So
yeah, I think
she's
she
recovered.
lived, if I remember right.
Yeah, 6 days in the hospital.
this line from Wikipedia. Their goal was to meet Slenderman at his mansion called Slender Mansion.
No.
Yes, let's go to the
Are you
Slender
serious?
Mansion. Yeah, that's legit in the Wikipedia.
No.
Slender Mansion.
I wanna live there.
These were clearly some just like mentally ill children.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
They were found not guilty by reason
Slender
of mental disease or
Mansion. They didn't
defect.
have to do that. They didn't have to call it that.
So like you like obviously you kind of delve into a little bit of stuff on your channel, Isaiah. Like where I've noticed like you do a very wide range of content. Like you kind of will do everything from like these kind of creepypastas to like real life events to like just breakdowns of things. Like how do you kind of decide what sort of stuff you're gonna focus on?
It just kind of depends on, what genre of topic it is. Typically, if I do a lot of one thing like horror series or conspiracy theories or something like that, I'll find myself wanting to divert.
Hmm.
And sometimes it works off of, pre-existing knowledge, like, oh, there was a weird story about XYZ thing. I should look into that. And other
Yeah.
times I'll be researching something else and come across whatever it is. Like the video I did not long ago about the vampire, when the CIA pretended to be
Hmm.
vampires. That one came because I was reading a book about government espionage during Vietnam, and then that was like a footnote that was mentioned. So I'm like, well, I have to look into this. So a lot of my video topics just come from random stuff like that, like offshoots I get on.
I do love how the CIA. I've said to Nathan before, like as much as we talk about like disliking feds now, we absolutely would have been the CIA back in the '60s, just like doing coke and being like, "Do you want to torture this hippie and see what happens?" They just
Let's like round up a bunch of homeless men and see how much LSD we could give them to make them retarded.
Yeah, like straight up, like they just throw shit at the wall to see what fucking sticks. Like, you think these guys will fucking believe in vampires? Let's fucking give it a shot.
hey, it's easy to hate when they're on top, but those guys have class. They got character to what they do.
Like, they're creative, Like,
Oh,
They
100%.
sure are creative. That's
You ever
for
see the
sure.
movie The Men That Stare at Goats?
Yes.
I
yeah.
never finished it, but I
Yeah.
watched a bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It is very, very striking how much of that was actually based on real events.
Yeah, they shit like that. Just like this dude says he's psychic. Let's see if it fucking plays out. Give me fucking like 100K and we'll do this project. And just
Yeah.
like take some dude and be like, "What's on this fucking card I'm holding?" Like for
Yeah.
like a solid like 8 weeks, and then you kill him at the end.
Yeah.
They did weird stuff. I remember the CIA conducted a report on what was his name? The guy who went on TV and could bend spoons with his mind, supposedly.
Yeah, Uri Geller. Yeah.
Yep, Uri Geller. Yeah. Like they did a whole breakdown on that guy. Like, oh, is this dude legit?
just imagining them watch like an episode of The Masked Magician. Like, do you guys you guys see this shit? We gotta get this fucking dude.
That is unironically the best argument against things like the JFK, the MLK conspiracy. That they're literally too stupid to pull it off.
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I do love how they just sent like a letter to MLK being like, "You should kill yourself." And it's like, this is the laziest attempt at an assassination I've ever seen, boys. Just being like, "You should do it."
I am a young black child. Can you die for me? Thanks.
Yeah.
Signed, CI. I mean, Calvin.
Yeah, no, that shit's wild. But yeah, so like you, because you do such a wide range of content on your channel, do you find that like certain videos will be better than others, or like, it's like, a lot of channels will focus on one topic and it will kind of go with one thing at a time. Do you feel like your kind of variation kind of helps you?
I think it's helped me. Well, see, honestly, I don't know for sure because like there's never been a version of me that stuck to one kind of content. But theoretically, I think it's helped me in sheer subscriber growth. Because like there's people who like conspiracy theories, there's people who like history, there's people who like, insert whatever. So I think I've kind of reached into a lot of different pools and dragged people in because of that. So I think it's been good for that. But at the same time, I've noticed there's certain types of videos that will get a certain number of views, right?
Okay.
So like my history videos always do the worst comparatively. So like the videos about the conspiracy history doesn't count, but like history videos about World War II or like espionage of some kind, those will always do the worst because there's like a dedicated following, which still is I understand is a very large amount of people, and I'm very thankful for it. I'm not saying it to downplay it by any means, but like a history video will probably get 400,000 or 500,000 views, whereas a video about, say, an internet horror ARG will get like 1.5 to 2 million.
Yeah,
just because like the people who follow are more interested in that. Because the majority of people who use YouTube are like kids or young teens, right? So a lot of those people are more likely to click on a Five Nights at Freddy's analysis than they are a disintegration of World War II espionage.
Yeah.
But I like making both. So
Yeah. Garen, When he did that event with Demolition Ranch and what's that other guy's name? Kentucky Ballistics. He mentioned that there were crowds and crowds and crowds of people, and the fans of Demolition Ranch and Five Nights, and it was entirely like 7 to 11-year-olds. They're just kids. It's that your average YouTube
Really?
user. Yeah.
Who is it that said that?
Garen He did an event with
Grand Thumb. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You
No,
would think for like them that it'd be older, right? But I guess
No,
same
I guess
across the
not. I
board.
mean, like a lot of it's like, hey, look at this gun from Fortnite. Hey, how many
That's true. Yeah.
50 cal rounds does it take to go through? And it
all
really
the future school shooters of America tuning in for tips.
Oh no. Oh no. At least we got shooters. Oh.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. Like how fast did you begin to see kind of subscriber growth when you started YouTube?
So it's been pretty quick. I've been doing it right at 2 years now, which has been pretty. I know there's a bunch of people who do
Jesus,
it for years, and
1.9 million subscribers in 2 years is supposed to be some sort of fucking record.
yeah, I appreciate it. I don't think it's quite a record, but it is fast, which I'm very thankful for, because I understand a lot of people, they try for a long time to get to that, and I kind of just fell into my lap. When I started to see success is when I started doing iceberg videos. That was like I remember I did the conspiracy theory iceberg, and I was going from like 10 or 20 views a video to like maybe a few hundred. Then I started doing some other icebergs, like the Star Wars iceberg, SCP iceberg. But what did it, and like what's started the projection to where I am today, is I did the disturbing movie iceberg, and that one got 1 million views in a week.
Oh shit!
And currently says that let me think. It got 1 million views in a week, and it's currently at like 8.5 or something like that. So that was the big catalyst. So I got at least 100,000 subs off of that quickly after it came out, and I've kind of just been riding that same wave till now. So that was the big jump, I'd say.
That's awesome. If I was I could make a suggestion. If you're going to do a video, please do one a lore video on fucking Boneworks and Bone Labs. I don't know if you know those. They're like VR games with very environmental storytelling, and I don't have the patience to actually fucking read a bunch of shit. So if you could just do that for me, thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm taking requests. Just
like, hey, do all this work.
Yeah.
I want to like experience this game, but I don't want to play it. So if you could do all that for me, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Which is pretty much what I do for a living. Just that for different things. I research it so you don't have to, so to speak.
Yeah, that's awesome though. It seems really cool. Like I've watched a good bit of your content. I've got a lot of friends that are fans. My friend Chris just texted me to say, tell him I love his shit and he's my favorite guest on PKA.
Oh, that means a lot. Well, thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that. What a legend.
Yeah,
That's very sweet of him.
Yeah. So how did you find, like, when you were first starting YouTube, so I'll get off the YouTube topic now in a sec, but just like the like balancing, like I assume you had like some sort of full-time job before you were doing this. So like how do you find balancing kind of your work life with like YouTube stuff?
So I was in a bit of a lucky position. I had worked several full-time jobs before. I had my first job was washing dishes at a steakhouse, and then I worked at a gun store for 3 years. And the last job I had before this was I was a science tutor at college. So I was a full-time college, like the store job was in the evenings and stuff like that. I was a full-time college student was my main thing. And during college, I would start doing YouTube on the side, like at the same time. So I was in a position where I still lived with my parents, and I didn't have to worry about work. I was in a very, fortunate circumstance to where I could dedicate a lot of my free time to doing the YouTube thing. And like I said, I started it in earnest a couple years ago. The first video I did that got any views was I did a Local 58 video, which got like 40 views in a week. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, Local 58 is awesome.
It's crazy.
That's
Local 58 is fantastic. And that was kind of like,
they're not really doing a lot of stuff now. I thought they were going to come back, but
I think they might be out there somewhere, because so they did the last video where they said they're on other frequencies. which kind of implied to me there's some real life elements taking place, like maybe a radio station or something. But they've been radio. I haven't heard any updates if someone has found anything. I know there's a website that was there for a bit, but I don't think there are any big leads brought off of that. So Local 58 is really cool. I hope to see it continue to be cool. Local 58 was a banger. Gemini Home Entertainment, it's a banger. There's some really good ones out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nathan, you talk now.
Sorry about that. I was just sending
BR.
BR. I was just sending
Dogs!
BR an invite.
Dogs! All right, well, while we're at it, Stephen Paddock did not carry.
Stephen Paddock did not carry 400 pounds of guns and ammunition to his.
It was an M240 Bravo.
Yep, it was an M240 Bravo. It was a belt fed. It was done probably by the CIA again.
Listen, you don't know. Maybe he was fucking hitting the gym right before he went. Right? Maybe he was really strong. Okay.
Really strong. He removed that how big was the pane of storm glass? That
hurricane-proof glass.
Hurricane-proof storm glass.
That he quietly Spider-Man grabbed and set down.
Yeah,
that was a good. That was
and
so
the very
cool.
very slow cyclic rate of an M240 Bravo, but he used an AR with a bump stock.
I just set up my I just set up my fucking sorry, give me a sec here. I'm getting audio playing. I don't know where it's coming from.
I just heard a random trumpet and was like, is that
I'm having a stroke.
Is that BR's introduction music?
I don't know where this is coming from.
I accidentally clicked dramatic piano.
Okay, it's you.
It's not good though.
But why don't we just leave it on? This is the show's vibe now.
This is the show. As Stephen Paddock, who was absolutely a fall guy, did you see that his brother's?
And this is making me lose my mind. I'm having an existential crisis.
Stephen Paddock over slow piano music.
That made me panic because I was just literally just setting up my sample pad for when BR comes. I got a little surprise, but like I was like, is that coming from me? What's happening?
Oh my god. I'm just really excited to have you, an Irishman, and BR, a former British man, in a room together.
I feel like BR is Irish in spirit.
Yeah. No.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. He was very, very, very much so.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure BR is cool. I liked I listened to one of the episodes of the podcast. He seems great, and he very nicely agrees to edit out all my various political death threats and general slurs. So
political tickle threats. I think
tickle threats.
He just a message saying, "Look up government zombie contingency plan con 8888."
Why doesn't he come in the show and tell us
what the
fuck?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let him do that.
He's just sitting in the waiting lobby, like, it'd be so cool if they talk about this.
I found it. Hold on. I mean, we should probably wait for him to get here to talk about it. Bernie, he's the one who knows about it, but this seems real.
I've heard about this. It seemed like one of those things that it's like, oh, let's make it about zombies to make disaster preparedness interesting.
I think that's exactly it. This is just like fucking the zombie survival guide.
They're just waving a little chain in front of our face. Oh, you like this?
Like, oh, it's going to make, bureaucratic government jobs actually interesting. Join us. Please join us.
We tricked you into learning, retard. You thought it was about zombies.
I'm begging you. It's like that e-girl in the military that's going around.
I saw her.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. That's the biggest glowy operation I've ever seen. Holy fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's trying to be meta about it. It's like, oh, yes, I glow so hard.
She says stuff all the time. I don't follow her or anything, but my friends send screenshots because I think it's funny. But she'll say stuff all the time. It's like, my battalion's my family. I'm like, did you rip this off an Uncle Sam poster? What are you talking about? No, they are not. I know those boys. If you look like that, they are not treating you like family.
They're definitely treating you like a fucking sister. I can tell you that.
It's my little sis.
Maybe in Alabama. They're just taking it's just the US military just copping on to the fucking IDF plan. They've been doing that for fucking years. Just the hottest women you've ever seen in your entire life, holding a fucking submachine gun. You're like, I'm gonna join up. I'm gonna get with her.
Which, to be fair, is the most effective marketing they've come up with. Admittedly, good on you. Clap, clap, clap. But it's still marketing. I know what you're doing.
100%. It's lazy. It's actually just lazy into it.
No woman looks like that in the field.
No,
No,
Jesus
fuck no.
Christ.
I saw the other day just a meme, and it said women that do this makeup, it's the female equivalent of a guy wearing a fedora, and I'm inclined to agree with that.
Yeah, but it gets my
Which
dick hard,
makeup?
so I'm gonna keep looking at it.
Oh, the makeup she was doing.
Yeah, just like the 2022 e-girl makeup. The
Yeah.
whole, like,
In comparison, these are the sort of women that are in the Irish army. Hold on, let me find this. You guys will enjoy
oh,
this.
is it that the one who tripped over and sued the Irish
Yeah,
army
so
for hitting her face against her gun?
this girl in the Irish army fucking was they did like a training exercise right in the middle of the night. You know, they're like fucking raid, go, and they all have to run outside. And she tripped on like a bungee cord, landed face first on her rifle, and then sued the Irish army and won.
She got like 36K out of it.
Actually, yeah, actually, it was something great. Yeah, 36,000 euro in damages. That's like fucking like 48k Canadian or some shit. Like fucking wild. But
oh
Joe,
my god, she looks like
Agony.
yeah, no, it's just
she
wild.
looks like she's doing a bad cosplay of Harry Potter.
Straight up. That's every girl in the Irish army. But yeah, no, it's those sort of stories always fucking blow my mind. I would assume that going into the army, you just have to accept you're going to get like this shit kicked out of you and probably be hideously scarred for life. So why the fuck do you get to sue over it?
Well, wait until your recruiting crisis gets super bad and they'll hire an e-girl to help.
Why let me in just to fuck around?
That's the end goal. Let me ask. So as someone who's like familiar with like the IRA side of history and all that stuff, because I wasn't. You mentioned it earlier, like they gave up their guns.
Yep.
How did you all go? Sorry, I don't mean.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
Accusatory at you directly.
Yeah, no.
How did Ireland as a country go from the IRA to like, sure, we'll give them up, or did they not give them up? Did they just kind of go missing?
So I think it's like a few things. I think it's like when we're talking there's a distinction between the original IRA, which would have been like during the actual battle against British independence, and then the IRA that became like, you know, just blowing up car bombs in the middle of the streets and shit.
Right.
So like the original IRA, I think it was more so due to like there was very few fucking guns anyway. They didn't have a ton. One of them is in my fucking closet. My great granddad was in the original IRA, and
wow.
I have his decommissioned shotgun, so I'm allowed to say that it's not illegal.
Should we be saying this?
Yeah, it's fine. It's decommissioned. It's fine. There's you can't deal with it. It's all good. And it's so like it's all good. But like so like there was very few of them in general, because you're thinking like talking about like basically a group of fucking farmers versus like an entire British army, you know? So like the basics I think of it was that shortly after the official like Irish government was formed, there wasn't really like the only ones that would have had it at that point. The guys that were the IRA became the Irish military, so then the only guns available were, because again there's so few of them, were in the military, and it was just never made that it was available to civilians. Really, I think is like how it would have gone. But then of course, you know, there was the IRA in the 80s who were just getting like whatever fucking guns they get their hands on from like all sorts of fucking countries and shit. And that's when, as we call it, the Troubles began. And they were great crack though. The IRA were the politest terrorists you'll ever meet. They would call you before they blew you up and tell you where the bomb is so you can get out in time. And then so then that of course went on. And I think that probably the Troubles probably led to an even harsher crackdown on guns in general. But Ireland has some general bullshit rules. Like you've got like no right to self-defense really here. Like there's no like actual ingrained right to that. Like you can argue it in court and you can get like if you're, you know, assaulted by someone, you fight back and you kill them, you can probably get away with it. But like there's a case only recently where some like 17-year-old kid came in and a guy was attacking his mother in his home and he stabbed the dude to death, and now he's facing like 14 years in prison. And like that shouldn't even be a fucking question. That should just be like, yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Like
I hearing stuff like that, I give the government a hard time with good reason. But it is good that we have some ingrained value of proper violence.
I absolutely agree with that. It's coming from somewhere where similarly a man shot a home invader who had him and his son and his wife tied up. He managed to get out of his bonds and shoot the home invader while they were struggling with the home invader's gun, and then used said gun to shoot at the other home invader as he ran away. I think he got away. They charged him with murder as well here in Canada.
Yeah, that's wild. That's insane.
Which is absolutely insane to me.
Yeah,
it's like a that thing I was saying earlier, like people are willing to give up their stuff not for security but for like
Yeah.
normalcy. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that, right? Like we don't care about your, security or how you're doing. We just the status quo has to maintain itself,
Exactly, and like,
right
I
or
agree with that
wrong.
entirely. Because there's definitely a thing here, especially in Ireland, of like there's never a belief that any violence is justifiable in any way. Even like
That that's what blow. Okay, maybe I'm just weird and I research the parts of history I want to
mm,
research. What, in your opinion, during the
yeah.
Troubles, the second IRA, what was public opinion of them?
The
Irish public
IRA,
opinion.
even the original, were always disliked. This is like something that like people I
Okay,
think
all right.
forget about, like even the original. So even when this gives an insight to Irish psyche, right? Even when the original IRA were fighting the occupying British forces back in the day, the most famous like event was the 1916 Rising, which is where there was full on battle in like Dublin streets. Like you can still see bullet holes in our national post office, like things like that. And they were
It's
like
pretty
they
cool.
were like widely condemned at the time. They were not popular. It was only when they were taken by the British, and then once again, this like are still not liking violence, when they executed guys from the 1916 Rising, that people were like, you can't be doing that, and that's when they got popular.
Mm,
So the IRA,
even a worm will turn.
yeah, so
Yeah.
like then the when it came to the second IRA, the ones in the 80s, like they were also largely disliked. Now of course you will find people, especially up in Northern Ireland, who are very pro IRA and are very thing, but especially here in the Republic, like it's not seen as like a positive like thing. Like it's more like the people will like, so an Irish was she thinks she's a football player, got in trouble recently for saying up the ra, which is like a common phrase in support of the IRA.
That's a very
Really?
Yeah, right. And but the thing is that phrase now amongst like what would be my generation, like people in their 20s, whatever, is more so just a phrase of like general like Irish pride. It's like not actually really linked to, like, I know like obviously it's
Yeah.
up the rap, but it's like you're not actually saying I support the guys that did car bombs and kill kids. Like it's more so just like go on
Right.
Ireland. And she got in trouble for saying that, and had to like apologize to a British newscaster who accused her of being ignorant of her country's history. And I was like, I would have jumped through the fucking television screen. Like I was like, holy shit, I would have lost my mind.
I okay, that makes more sense to me, because like you got to understand, like I'm not going to say a fan on the internet because that's not the word to use. I'm interested in the 80s IRA and like a
Yeah,
lot of their
but it
tactics
is
and
interesting as
stuff
shit. Like I
like
mean, like, it was like guerrilla warfare shit. Like so, like
that. Yes, it is the most discernible modern example of true guerrilla warfare
Yeah.
to be studied and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
by far.
near peer in an occupying country.
Yes,
where-
in a country with super hardcore restrictions and oversight for that engagement. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm getting way above the clouds
No,
right now.
I love it. I love
but, like in the United States, there is a lot of layers of what's the word of plausibility, right? Like deniable plausibility.
Yeah.
Like for example, in the book Fry the Brain, which was written about the IRA, like all the stuff they did and like their tactics, like they talked about how they whenever they did their shootings, they would roll up in a car, fire a gun, and then not only would they ditch the gun, every time they shot, they would wear cotton and latex on top of each other, because there would be checkpoints where the British were dusting people's hands looking for gunpowder, right?
Yeah.
In the United States, especially in the South,
Yeah.
everyone Joe's got gunpowder
yeah.
on them during gun season. Yeah, like everyone goes hunting, like that couldn't be done. But in Ireland, you can be that restricted.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's interesting how they would operate. There's stories of them like they would set up in houses and they would deck the whole house in like paint suits and like painting equipment and stuff like that, and they take one shot and then put on painters uniforms, bag it all up, and walk out looking like utility.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit like that. Like there was also generally, because of the restriction of guns, like more of like a lean towards non-firearm related, like, you know, violence as well. Like so I had a lecturer in college who was a journalist, and he had like he was like a legit journalist who'd be like embedded with the Irish Army in Kuwait. He'd like was reported on the troubles, like all this sort of stuff. And he told us a story about how he was in a bar interviewing an IRA guy, because these guys were like people knew who these guys were, you know, like it wasn't like hard to find this guy. So he was talking to him, but the guy's like, you know, saying he's anonymous or whatever. So he's talking to your man about like the whole situation, and like the door of the bar bursts open and 4 dudes come in, and 3 of them are dragging this one guy, and they shove him on the ground, and apparently he was an informant, and they used a nail gun to nail him to the floor of the pub. Yeah, like in
Whoa,
front of everyone at the pub,
man,
and everyone at the pub was just like, "Oh yeah, well he's an informant," like, and like there was like no like
man. Okay, see, like that, right? You're saying he was an informant for the
yeah,
British,
yeah.
right? Okay, see, stuff like I hear stories like that, and I'm like, it sounds like everyone was down to clown,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like that's the thing. Like there's a huge percentage of what you would call loyalist people in the north who are like the ones that are pro England and pro. They
Right.
consider themselves British. They're very thing. And like so that's what leads to a
Yeah,
lot of the
we
conflict.
had some of those over here too. We shot
Yeah,
them.
that was a good move. Good, very good move.
Also,
I would say that was the right idea.
Yeah.
Tories was the word we
if
used.
there's
Yeah.
any Irish listeners here who think that I am either A, wrong about the history, or B, upset with me saying that, you can suck me from the back. I don't care.
I think
No.
I've brought this up before. I was on a drive with my dad like a year ago, and he mentions, oh yeah, we're getting into a conversation about heritage and my family and where we came from, because I actually don't know very much. And he's like, yes, you're the descendant of British loyalists who
You did not
like,
tell me that.
oh well, here you go. That fled
leaves the chat.
yeah,
Blocked on everything.
fled after the American Revolution. I'm like, oh, that's a fucking shame. And he got mad.
No, like realistically, like
That's a
like
shame.
again, like
Yeah.
my actual opinion as someone from the Republic is that like I don't give a shit. I cannot imagine what it is like growing up there. I would say that like the political divide is insane. The influence from like your family based on their beliefs is probably insane. Like it's I get it from both sides. I don't actually give a shit whether you're like loyalist or Republican. I don't care. But like it's just like if I was to give you the general like I believe sentiment of the average like Irish person in the Republic over the North, it's that we don't want to know any more about it. We're done. We don't like it's caused too much fucking trouble. Even if we got all the 6 counties back, I don't think we could afford them. We could like the country would go bankrupt just trying to like finance them. So like it's just kind of like, all right, you fucks deal with it. Like I think probably like the best like move would be to like let them be their own independent state to a degree, which they kind of are already. They're just like still part of the British Empire or whatever. But like
Right.
in general, I think that like a lot of the shit they fight about, like, no one here gives a shit about. Like there's like they have like full on like riots over like fucking different flags being flown like in the parliament and shit. I'm like, no one here cares genuinely. Like we don't give a fuck.
I'm being not that. I agree that not caring with the like 90% of politics is the correct solution.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't matter. Not with that, but with the talk of like that them being loyalists and stuff. I gotta admit, you're kind of killing my my love of the Irish.
I'm sorry. Like I think it's
like because you gotta understand. Like I sing the IRA songs all the time. Like
oh well, listen, so do I.
Light and all that.
Like,
Okay, I'll see. You are messing with my brain. It's going
this
one
is
way
the
than
thing.
the
Like,
other.
you go to an Irish pub and at 1 a.m. everyone's drunk as shit. Someone's playing "Come Out Ye Black and Tans" and we're like having a
Come out, you black and tans. Come out and fight me like a man.
Like we're going full on. Like the thing is that like level of the culture is still hugely celebrated. It's just like the like as again like the old IRA is hugely celebrated. Just like the 80s one that was like just generally looked down upon and not really given any sort of like credence.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying historically the original IRA who had this like all the old songs and stuff, the sentiment of support is about
yes
them.
100%. That's
whereas the Trupples IRA
Yeah.
is generally viewed as a bad
yeah that's literally exactly it. That's 100%
okay
yeah
okay
like there's a like as I said, when we're singing those songs they're saying up the ra, it's in reference to the original IRA, not the guys in the 80s, because
okay and the idea is the guys in the 80s kind of what's the word when you commandeer it for you
yeah like
yeah they stole it basically.
yeah like what's
appropriated that's it
yes.
they think that they appropriated the symbol from the original.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like they're seen as like it seems like, listen, look, we had finally gotten some semblance of peace and like things have been fine after like years of like fucking fighting and oppression and shit, and then these guys kicked it all off again.
I see. Okay.
Because again, the running Irish sentiment is just to keep things like fine, keep things okay. Like is like which is why again any form of violence here. So for example would be right. There was like a dude recently like in Ireland like lost his fucking mind, went to like a local like I think it was like a supermarket, attacked someone with a machete, like knocked someone out, like did like hurt someone else. Like they just went on a fucking absolute rampage, right? And he was like walked back to his house. Police unsurprisingly were called. and they were like, well, he's got a machete. So the armed response unit turned up, and they're the like police that have guns, but they all have tasers first, right? So they've tasers and pepper spray first, and they arrive up, and this dude's in his garden threatening them with a machete. And then they pepper sprayed him, and he didn't go down. They tried to tackle him, and he kept swinging at them with a machete, and they tried to tase him, and he just tanked it. And they were like, "Oh fuck!" And then he went at a guard that had a taser with the machete, ran at him, and was like literally like a foot away from him, about to swing at him, and they shot him. And there was like nationwide protest and anger over him getting shot. And I was like, "Well, what the fuck did you want them to do? Let him just stab the fucking other dude?"
Bro, that is the most unspeakable thing I've ever heard as an American.
Straight up. Like, I was like, this dude would have been
whoa.
ventilated like walking down the street after he left the shop if this was America. Like, but like he's like,
Bro, in the United States, cops shoot people for not using a blinker. Like,
or
it's
eating a burger in their car, apparently, from that video.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, they gave this dude every fucking chance. Like, they tried to tackle him, they tried to talk him down, they tried pepper spraying and they did like everything they possibly could, and then still there was like all things like they murdered him, like all across thing. And like then you get the typical shit. Why didn't they just shoot him in the leg? Why didn't they just shoot the machete out of his hands like fucking John Wick? You know, like
I hate that. I hate that so much. I remember a little while ago there was a girl who was trying to stab another girl and had knife in there, ice pick, and he shoots her. He mag dumps her, but he warns her, and he warns her. I'm no friend of the police, or there's a lot of officer involved shootings we're all seeing. I'm like, holy fuck, they fucked.
Oh yeah,
up.
I see it all the
It's
time.
awful.
Like it
happens all the time. Yeah,
but like there's
police
ones where it's
accountability.
clearly fucking justified.
Yeah, but in this one, yeah, it's like, oh well, why didn't you shoot her in the leg? She was half a second away from just ventilating someone with a very, very long knife.
People have it's always someone that's never shot a gun in their entire fucking life that has no idea how hard it is to hit a target from like
shoot it in the leg.
It's ridiculous. Like or even the fact that how like you can still kill someone shooting them in the leg. You hit a fucking artery and they're just fucking gone. Like,
It's not just like rocks in there.
Exactly.
There's stuff that matters.
But yeah, no, we get this like shit like that all the time. So like that's, I would say, the general sentiment in Ireland is like a general disdain of violence overall. But at the same time, you'll have like 14-year-olds stab people in the streets and kill them, and that's like, oh well, and just completely ignored. And like then but if someone like knocks a kid out for doing that, it's like, you didn't have to hit him that hard. It's like, you fucking had a knife.
You also mentioned that whenever he had the machete, that like the equivalent of the SWAT team was called, which is also funny to me, because in the US, the guy with the machete, it's like, all right, sir, step out of the RV.
That's Tuesday. That's Tuesday in the US.
That's Florida every 20 minutes or so.
Yeah,
there has to be at least 3 guys with guns before the SWAT team is called.
Like straight up, like even the guy that the officer that shot him had like a full-on investigation and like shit done on him. Like they went like really intense with it, and like they had to like make sure that he like had followed every single rule that there is on this shit. And I'm like, how the fuck could you possibly think that this was not justified?
Yeah, there should be accountability for cops, but I think stuff like that's pretty cut and dry. Someone needed to do it, right? Regardless of who it was. Some people just don't get to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They forfeited that.
Like
right.
the general, one of the good things, I suppose, I would like say that if I'm in a general sense, like a utopian society, there'd be no need for guns, so like in countries where there's like anywhere in the US, I believe you need a fucking gun. There's other people with fucking guns, but if no one has one, then I think that it as long as, I mean, the government doesn't have them either or whatever, or cops don't have them,
right,
that like it means that in general there's a lack of escalation at times. Again, this is a totally disagreeable position. I can see exactly all the other arguments for why guns are necessary, but like Ireland means that because we don't have guns, if you hear of a shooting in like Irish media, it's always a drug dealer. It's literally always there. So like if you're like man shot in like thing, you're like, oh, he was a drug dealer, like, and that you can just assume that straight away. No one that gets shot here is like just like a random dude or someone like involved in a fight. Like it's always if anyone has a gun here, it's because they're involved in some sort of organized crime. So as a result, it means that our police officers don't have guns either, but they will just kick the shit out of people, which is very funny.
Like, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, like my friend once, I told the story, I think the last time I was on the podcast, a guy I know got mugged, And he's like, this guy I know, he's got like one fucking dodgy leg, is like shorter than the other, so he's fucking limping after this dude that has his wallet, and he's chasing him down the street. And the guy that like robbed it ran around a corner directly into 2 police officers who just grab him. And my friend comes flying around, and he's like, "Here's my wallet," and they check his ID. They go, "Oh yeah, that's yours. There you go." And they put the guy in the back of the car. So they go, like, "What happened?" You know, he tells them, and then they go, "Do you want to see something funny?" And he goes, "What?" And they open the back of the police car and just beat the shit out of the dude in the back of the car. My mate's like, "You don't have to do it. You don't have to do that. It's fine. It's fine." They close the door. They go, "Ah, no, he's always up to this shit. I'm fucking sick of him at this stage. Isn't that right, Billy?" And the man in the car is like, "Fuck off,
What on
fucking
earth?
dickhead." And they're like, "Shut up, Billy. We get your chips on the way to the Garda station." He's like, "Fucking better." Like, so like
They just beat you up.
yeah, like
That's
straight up, it's just
wild.
like fist fights with the guards. It's like really fucking common, like, you know.
I find the cultural differences in police just so interesting and weird.
Like even where I live, right, a dude's dog got out, right, and the dog was apparently running after kids, and someone came out with like a golf club and like swung at the dog, and then they called the guards on the owner, being like, the dog's dangerous or whatever, right? And so the police come down and they open the door to talk to him. This guy's an old man, and they're like, "Look, you have to keep the dog in. You can't be letting him out. Like clearly, like he's a little bit aggressive." And as they're talking to him, the dog runs out and bites the guard in the fucking ankle. And they're like, "Oh shit," right? And they still didn't tell him to like put it down or like kill the dog. They were just like, "Just don't let him the fuck out again, for fuck's sake."
Just lock him up, put him in there. Yeah, in the US, they will shoot a dog for barking at you.
Yeah, they will shoot your dog for existing. It's
yeah.
Literally, there's like procedure. Like if you're serving a warrant and there's a dog, just kill it.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it.
That's why
it's
Waco
absurd.
happened. Really, it's like they shot the dogs and they kicked off.
Don't get me started
Yeah.
on Waco. I have an hour and a half of just pure hatred for the ATF about that one.
Not joking.
my
Not
God.
joking. Waco was one of the defining reasons I ended things with a girl, because she thought it was justified. And I was like,
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
Holy
no,
wow.
fucking no.
That is an irreconcilable difference.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
yeah.
100%. That speaks to a lot worse.
She was like, "Well, if they hadn't shot back in the first place, it wouldn't be an issue." I'm like, their house was being like fucking like just riddled with bullets. Like, what
the old lay down and take it argument.
Exactly,
destroys all my points. Well, boys, let's turn them in.
Yeah.
If we do what they say,
It won't hurt
they
us.
won't hurt it. If you have nothing to hide, then what's there to be afraid?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my
Whenever anyone
God.
says that, I just go, "Give me your phone." And they go, "What?" I go, "Give me your phone. Let me go through your phone right now." And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Yeah, see, that's exactly the argument." Like,
What changes if you have a fucking badge on?
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They wanted to introduce a thing here in Ireland for a bit where if a police officer stopped you on the street, you had to provide your phone lock code so they could go through it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Why?
I do not fucking know. I was like, they can suck my dick. I'll go to jail before I do that shit. I don't give a fuck.
You're messing with my perception of Ireland right now. I'm kind of sad.
Listen,
I'll be honest
everyone
with
thinks
you.
we're like little green fields and fucking like sheep, and like everyone said, "No, it sucks here, dude. It's terrible."
What kind of well, I say this as an American in one of the most like also hypocritical countries, but to be a bit of a hypocrite myself for a second, what kind of people is in the bar at night like, "Come out, you black and tans," and then like, "Oh, here you go, officer."
Straight up, that's every Irish citizen. I'm not joking. Every Irish citizen, including like the other police officers that are there, they'll be there singing with you, and then they'll be like, "All right, now give me your phone." Like, no, it's a ridiculous fucking country, dude. Like in general, like I'll be honest, it's fine. Like, I mean, I think that when they were trying to introduce that law, like the biggest issue that the police officers face is literally inner city young like teenage white kids that are just fucking assholes. And like that is like, by fucking assholes I mean they will stab you in the street. Like they are just like there's nothing you can
okay.
like, there's nothing they can do about
I thought
them.
you meant like maybe some graffiti or
straight
something.
up,
Just
they
like,
will-
I
doing
mean, you are
shit.
like UK adjacent, where like stabbing people is a national pastime.
Yeah, like straight up, like
so that
go ahead.
that's the thing. Like you were mentioning earlier, like the argument for no guns, which is true, correct. The idea that theoretically, if no one had them, it could be better than some scenarios where they have them. The issue is that people will always have a predilection for
100%.
violence. So if the weaponry or lack of thereof relies on physical strength and dominance, like a knife or a shank, a bat, whatever, you will always have a small subset of people who can rain down on others because of
100%.
it. Whereas with firearms, it
It's an
creates
equalizer.
more of an equal playing field. It's the equalizer. I think the best, it's this, I forget where this is from. It's from an old dystopian sci-fi novel. But it's the phrase, "an armed society is a polite society."
Yeah.
because if everyone's armed, then everyone has to act like everyone's
Well,
armed.
one of the biggest issues we have is the fact that there's like zero repercussion for people that are underage. So like you can like they will not go to juvie, they will not go to jail, nothing will happen to them. Like they will just fucking get away with it. They will be out on the streets within like 24 hours, so they can go. This is why so many of the drug dealers use underage people as like drug runners and even like as fucking assassins. Like the amount of times a dude's shot and it turns out it was a fucking 13-year-old that did it, because like they'll just give them a Glock and be like, just mag dump the window, and they just go to a car and just mag dump in at some fucking dude. Like it's like there's zero repercussion for them, so like they know this too, they know they can get away with it, so like there's like nothing done about it. It's like it's a losing battle. Like, there's nothing the police officers can do about it. It just kind of sucks ass. But yeah, no, Ireland is a very different place to how I think a lot of people view it. I like the general like attitude of the people is very different. Like I've seen like, you know, like Boston and shit, you'll see like Irish bars and they're like always like rebel bars, like very pro IRA. They think that like, you know, the good fights still going on. And you talk to any Irish, like actual Irish person, they're like, no, shut the fuck up. That's not a real thing. Like we don't give a shit. Like it's very, very different.
Every Irish person I know in the United States is like, well, really, the IRA, like the 80s one, they're like, if you think about it, they were like the Avengers. They were the good.
But I think there's a reason that they're in the United States.
Yeah,
that's probably it too as well. Like again,
that's why I have this romanticized view of like all these like rebel fighters.
That's it. Like I say, like it's people that say that I would imagine probably grew up with very pro IRA families, and they probably didn't agree with a lot of the culture here in general, which is why they're in the States. And like it's a totally understandable position. Like I get that. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about like
I find the same thing.
I'm not saying I believe this shit. I'm just saying like if you were to ask the average Irish person, this will be the response. You know, like that's
I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. I find the same thing with British immigrants. They usually lean a lot more right wing. They usually lean a lot more like.
Well, like, the reason, like the benefit of America, and I would say, is that like it is in general for much more so than like Europe, like a level playing field where you may be at like a level of where it's easier to end up like in a bad situation, but it's also much easier to end up in a very, very good situation. You know, like as in like we have like fucking like almost 50% tax on income and like shit like that. You know, like it's a lot harder to make money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's a lot harder to make money. Like it's a lot like all these things. So like but you know the argument for why they're like, oh yeah, but you also get like free healthcare. It sucks ass, but it's free. You know, like like things like that. It's like there's the but like it's not like really, it doesn't work out in a fair sort of way. So I think that people that are more generally right leaning, more self sufficient, more wanting to kind of, you know, work on their own steam and work on their own effort will lean towards America and places like that.
Yeah, right. I hate the negative stigma the word freedom or free has, but yeah, it's exactly that. Trying to get out of the crushing, just we want to do everything for you. Fuck you! You can't do anything for yourself. Of a lot of the Western European governments and Canadian and everything else.
I also I don't mean to be harsh. I also don't want to ruin any other like ideas about Ireland, but I will say I love America. I love Americans. Like I'm very well with Americans. Every Irish person makes fun of Americans the minute you turn around. Like we rip the shit.
That one's fine. That one's fine. That's fine. I can live with that. I expected
like
that.
I
just wanted you all to be a little bit more angry.
Yeah,
That's
like
it.
I have a lot of tattoos as you can see, and I was in getting tattooed one day, and 4 different groups of Americans came in, and every single one of them got an Irish shamrock tattooed on them. And I turned to my friend, I was like, "Is this like common?" He was like,
well, those people deserve it.
Yeah, he was like, this is like every day. This is every fucking day.
Oh man.
Well, no, I've worked with Americans my entire life, and like I love America in general. I've visited a lot, like all over the place.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
We were just going to do a 2-week road trip just through America.
Yeah, I think our plan should be when you come visit Ireland, we will go back to Texas and then do Texas shit and then like head back.
I'm super down for that. And it also saves me 2 days of driving. So
yeah, fuck that. Yeah. Where are you based? Can I ask where you're based again, Wendigoon?
Yeah. I'm in Tennessee.
Yeah, cool.
Tennessee is fucking awesome. I'm really looking forward to going
Tennessee.
I'm
not. I may be a little biased, but I do think Tennessee is the best state in the union.
Basically, everyone who lives in Tennessee says that, and that everyone I talk to in California is like, oh well, you know, it could be better, but I kind of hate it.
In their defense, California sucks dick.
Yeah, California fucking sucks. On the record, fuck California.
Tennessee has no income tax.
Incredible.
Yeah,
It has the loosest gun laws in the country.
based.
It has the loosest registration laws in the country for like land, vehicles, whatever.
Based.
It has the lowest. If you remove the county, so like Tennessee is the, if I remember correctly, last time I checked, it's like the 15th or 16th highest crime rate in the country. If you remove the county that Memphis is in, you still have Nashville and Knoxville, just Memphis. It drops down to 47.
All right.
Holy
think.
shit.
I'm moving.
It's an incredibly peaceful country. It's got the mountains.
Lucas, let's get
it has a lot
property
of
in
natural
Tennessee.
resources. It's Tennessee is the goat.
Let's
without a doubt.
Nathan. Let's start our own Waco in Tennessee.
Fuck yeah.
The biggest problem with Tennessee is they still hold to a lot of like you could call them old faith conservative laws. So a lot of stuff like, you know, they'll still bust you for like weed possession really hard.
Yeah.
They'll still hit you hard for like a what's another thing they do? They've got some weird laws around like your tax stuff. Like they don't collect income tax, but like there's something about how the TBI interacts with like the IRS. Again, some like more old fashioned stuff that I hope is eventually on its way out. But I still think they're the best state there is.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, no, I'd definitely like to move there. I wouldn't have to worry about the weed thing. I tried weed with Nathan, like, because it's legal there.
I don't really smoke weed either, but on the way back from the airport, because he'd never done it, we grabbed a joint from the liquor store, because you can just buy it at the liquor store here, and we split it.
Wow.
And it was
I ordered $100 at McDonald's and passed out for 4 hours on his couch.
Yeah. He's not kidding. It was most random shit too. It was like a weird assortment of burgers, 4 Coke Zeros. I don't know why. I don't know how. Like very big ones.
Is
and
weed
just like
not
a
legal
lot of
in
ice
Ireland?
cream.
No,
that
weed is
melted.
definitely not legal here. It is extremely attainable.
Yeah.
It is not legal.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, we don't have any fun shit, dude. We don't have guns.
I'm
Don't have
leaving.
weed.
This is ridiculous.
Don't have weed. Don't have
No
guns. Don't have fucking
drugs,
anything cool.
No guns.
It sucks ass here. I keep telling you.
I'm mostly giving you a hard time. I'm mostly just giving you a hard time.
No, it fucking sucks. You're
I
right.
didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was legal.
Yeah, dude.
I also didn't mean to cut you off, Nathan, as you were talking.
Oh no,
about
dude, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, no, straight up.
It's like 80% of this podcast is cutting each other off, and
That's
I don't
true,
think
yeah.
that'll ever change, and I don't want it
Like
to.
Okay,
there
cool.
was a brief push to legalize weed here, and it just didn't go fucking anywhere. Like there's like it's ridiculous. Like it's not even like medicinal is like allowed. Like it's just not like attainable unless you go to a back alley and buy it off some guy named Dave.
What, other than free healthcare, quote unquote, what do you have? I'm not saying this is like a challenge. I'm saying this out of general curiosity. What is something that Ireland has that America doesn't, like citizen wise or?
That's a good question.
At least your math class isn't like a shooting gallery, mate. Like,
yeah, like I would say so. When we actually education is one thing. We have an extremely high standard of education. Like we're like one of the highest in Europe, as in like top 3.
Okay.
We've got let me think. We're the general like so the cost of living currently sucks ass. It didn't used to be that bad. It's got like the I'm finding it hard to call them a shit, but like in general, it's just like the general like society. I think the main thing is that like, as I mentioned, like how in America, like you've got the freedom to do really well, but it's also easy to fall by the wayside. We do have a really good social security net in general, where like a lot of people abuse it, unfortunately. But like you can just get about 2 to 3K a month completely for free just for doing nothing if you're like unemployed. You got like your rent covered, you got like healthcare, you got like basically just everything covered. So like if you're in a situation where you know you're not doing well, you're not gonna really, unless you're like an actual drug addict on heroin or some shit, it's very hard to end up completely homeless on the streets.
Interesting.
Like that'd be one thing. In general, I joke about our healthcare, but it really isn't that bad. I do think it's actually better than England's healthcare from what I've seen. It is
it's not a very high bar.
No, yeah, not a high bar. It's like you can pretty much like shoot yourself in the leg or some shit and get just patched up and you don't pay a shit.
Interesting. Okay.
You can like there's a lot of shit like that. But aside from that, aside from like the high level of education and like the like healthcare and like social security net, I couldn't fucking tell you, dude. Our like rent prices are out of fucking control. There's like
The cost of getting a vehicle is one thing that really,
yeah, so like
really
I was talking about this with
surprised
Nathan. I was like, I have a like 2015 Ford Fiesta, like little fucking like shit box. Like it's in very good condition, like fuck all like miles on it or whatever. It cost me 13.5 grand euros to buy.
me. Yeah.
It cost me 6 grand just to like get my license and like mandatory lessons and like shit like that.
Huh.
It's like whereas Nathan's like, you can pick up a car for like 3K here, like, you know, like it's very
Yeah, I bought my first Yaris for 1,500, and that was yeah, it was in good shape. It was rebuilt, but you know, it wasn't really a shitbox.
Do they like just heavily discourage commuting like that?
yeah, like so it would be fine if they did that and they had really good public transport, or public transport sucks ass. It's like everyone basically has to drive to get around the country. They just make it extremely expensive to do so.
I gotcha. Okay, interesting.
It like again, I don't, the only good thing I can say about Ireland is like the culture, like in general, the people are genuinely very cool. There's like a lot of like history and shit here. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of business opportunities in terms of like if you want to work for a large company, like all the tech companies are headquartered here, Facebook, Google, like all those dudes. Like that's what a lot of our young professionals are like people that come from other countries to work for big tech companies and stuff like that. There's like that's basically it. Like I say, like if you're like if what you're really looking for, the like the types of, you know, right leaning, generally freedom focused people, what the best part about here will be, like you could easily just like get some land for cheap enough, build your own place and start a farm and be like totally secure, and no one will ever fuck with you. You never have to worry about like any real violence or anything like that. It can be like a fairly peaceful sort of place, but like in general, like aside from again the people or like the culture, like I could not tell you like why the fuck you'd want to live here. Like I when I see people coming here from like Italy and like this place, I'm like, why the fuck are you here? Why did you come here? It rains all the fucking time. Like it's so fucking expensive. Like why did you leave that place and come here? Like,
then again, it's Italy. I wouldn't want to live in Italy either.
yeah, true. Like it just depends. Like I mean, like I think there's a lot of other countries that do shit better, you know. Like I would say, like if you're like
America number one.
like there's a dude I follow on Twitter. He's great, Lawrence King, and he had a video a while back where he's doing like he was like my top tips for what's called being a businessman in the UK. And he was like, so if you find yourself, you know, you're living in England, maybe you were born there, your family's there, you know, you've grown up there, and you want to start a business, just leave, get the fuck out of there, fucking get out immediately, move somewhere else, go to like Paraguay, go to Thailand, go do anywhere fucking else. Like, so yeah.
Top tips to start a business in the UK. Don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't mean to drill you for 30 minutes about Irish
No,
history.
dude, I'm totally happy to talk about this shit. Like, I mean, like, I do, like, again, being from here, I love it here. You know, like, I do love all the people here. My family's here. My friends are here. I think I would find it hard to acclimatize to another culture. I think that, like, as I said, I've traveled all over America. I've been to Canada and stuff. And even Nathan has seen, like, just the way I talk to people just doesn't fucking work in other countries. Like, I walk up to like people in a store and just be like buying something, and I'm like, hey, how are you? How's things? And they start actually telling me about their day. And I'm like, that's not a fucking question. That's a statement. Like, give me my fucking food.
Bro, I'll tell you this, right? To get whatever you want in life, in the US, you literally just have to act like Saul Goodman. It's not that hard. You literally just have to turn on the charisma. You can do whatever you want. I'm currently filming a Halloween special that required me to go on location and look around at the local like museums and libraries for information. All right, I was nice to one person, just pretended to be Saul Goodman. That's all it is. Like, oh, well, how are you? How are the kids? Well, isn't that dandy? Blah, blah, blah. By the end of the conversation, I was at the author of the book that I was the information I was looking for, and she let me go. I was at her house, and she let me go through her entire records, and she was like, you can take them, You can just take all my records I've amassed
This is
over
what
the
I don't
years.
get. Like,
Here, they're
everyone
yours.
is so fucking friendly,
that.
and it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like, if you walk up to
In
me,
the South, absolutely.
like, you walk up
Yes.
to me in
Yeah.
Ireland, and you're like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "What do you want? Get away from me. What's on your hand?" Like, I'm just immediately like suspicious.
Meanwhile, around here, just you're good to go.
Yeah, I love Southern hospitality so much. I was in a fairly, I don't want to say like, the reputation is dangerous city, visiting PSR a couple weeks ago, and everyone was so nice. Even when, you know, it looked like they were trying to sell me meth, they were nice.
They're still nice about it. They're
Yeah.
still nice about
It's
it.
fucking
I
wild.
think the best way I've heard it said before is like people on the East Coast are kind but not nice,
Yeah,
and people on the West Coast are nice but not kind.
yeah,
And I think about that a lot. You know, like
You
on
know,
like
that-
on the
that's
East
kinda
Coast, if you're a stranger, they may like be a little, but they'll hold the door open for you.
yeah,
Like California, they'll smile at you, but they'll slam it in your face.
yeah. God, I hate California. I have a lot of friends. that
Never
live
been,
there.
don't intend to.
Yeah,
I'm not interested.
I've been to Los Angeles. I've been to San Francisco.
yeah. We went to Los Angeles together.
did.
It was a
Yeah.
good time.
I
Yeah,
forgot that actually. Yeah, we were there together.
yeah,
We've been to weirdly a lot of countries together. We first met in Paris.
yeah. We did.
It was a
actually.
beautiful romantic time.
It was wonderful.
What a
Um,
lovely little
Yeah.
homo relic.
we went to Disneyland. But no, Disneyland was great. But yeah, no, I just remember the price of living in LA, and we were staying at this Airbnb.
This was so funny.
Have we talked about this on the show
I don't
before?
know, but it's such a fucking funny story. So this is partly
such a
my
fucking
fault.
funny story.
It's partly my
Yeah.
fault and partly Airbnb.
It's not your fault. It was great. It was
It
great.
was like my fault and Airbnb's like poor like categorization of homes. So like I booked this Airbnb that said like the entire place was ours, right? And it was like meant like,
Yeah.
it was like cheap as shit.
Oh
Like,
no.
there for a just over a week, and it was only like fucking $400 or some shit, right? It was like it was great.
Oh
Right?
no.
And it was in Koreatown, and it was actually very nice. And I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And I made one of my other friends come with me, my American friends, because I was like, "This could be a crack den, and I might need help, so come with me." So he
Right.
came with me, and I go in, and then there's this girl there that's like hosting the place, and she was like really nice and really friendly, and like. But when I walk in, I was like, "Oh, it's like a 1-bedroom apartment, and we're essentially staying in what would be like the living room on like 2 beds." And I was like, "Well, that's like less than ideal, but like okay, whatever." We are like there for like 2 days, everyone's going fine. Then and she had like a room. She kept going off. She's like, "Okay, have a good night, guys," and she go into this room. And
Yeah, I assumed it was the
yeah,
bedroom.
we're like oh, like she's in her bedroom or whatever. And then one day she's gone out and we're heading out somewhere. And Nathan's like, "Holy shit!" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Have you looked in here?" And I'm like, "In her room, no." And he's like, "This isn't a room." And it was a fucking closet. And she'd been sleeping in like a nest she'd built in the closet.
What? What the heck?
And it was a studio apartment. And it turned out that her rent had gone up by like $400 and she couldn't afford it anymore. So she was just Airbnb-ing the place and sleeping in the closet.
Keep in mind, this is like 2016, and this tiny little, like, the entire apartment's like the size of probably my kitchen.
Yeah.
And it was $1,700 to live in this little shitbox, and I have no idea what it's like now. Probably like $3,000.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
Are you telling me that this girl would just be like, "All right, good night," and then hide in your closet?
Yes.
yeah, like she'd built a nest, so she was sleeping on the nest she had built of like duvets
That
and old
is
clothes.
the freakiest thing I've ever heard. Just
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't even
okay,
long
good
enough for her
night,
to lie
boys.
down.
Just like seals herself in.
We thought it was
Oh,
like
my word.
incredibly sad. We felt so bad for her. We bought like her like a new microwave because her microwave broke. We were like, we feel
Yeah,
terrible.
we bought her a bunch of groceries when we left, so she had food.
At what point are you like, maybe I move somewhere with the reasonable cost
Yeah.
of living? You
Yeah,
know?
that's
I
what we
think she
thought.
was from. Yeah, I think she was from like Kentucky or something, and came down to make it big.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
no.
was a little older than us.
That, you
and
know,
just
I
so
diss
naive.
YouTube and social media a lot, but before like that, before you could do it yourself, that was what you had to do. You had,
You had to go to
somewhere.
LA and like
Yeah,
make something. of yourself.
glad I've never taken that route.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Oh God, I remember, and God bless her. She was wonderful. Like I think about her. a lot.
She was like,
'Cause, like,
she
I
was
hope
like an
she's doing well.
Instagram influencer, and she kept asking. She figured out that I could do Photoshop, and she kept asking me to like fix up her photos and stuff. So like I did a few, and then she asked Nathan to do it, and he's like, "Yeah, no problem." And he sits on his laptop for like 10 minutes, and he goes, "Done." And he turns around. He just turned her into Shrek. He just painted her green and gave her Shrek ears.
Bro.
I also remember
Nathan.
Nathan absolutely destroying her world, right? Because she's talking about how she's like, "Oh, I went on a date with an actor not too long ago," and we're like, "Oh, really?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, he's a really nice guy. He was in this movie, and it was the guy that was in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He was Tom Sawyer in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So he was like a mid-level actor, like not like a nobody." And we're like, "Oh shit, that's pretty cool. Like he's in like a TV series now." So she was like, "Yeah, no, it was really good. Like, you know, he's like last time he dropped me off, he like leaned in, like kissed me, you know, and he said, and like he was going away on like to like a bachelor party, and like I told him like I was saved by Christ, so like I was saving myself for marriage, and he said like he was cool with that, and then like he'd call me again, but I haven't heard from him." And he's like, "Well, yeah," and she's like, "Well, what do you think that?" She's like, "What do you think that means?" And he then's like she's like, "Do you think he was really cool with like, you know, my religion?" And Nathan goes, "Well, he's an actor." And she goes, "Well, you think he was acting?" And Nathan's like, "Yeah."
No.
I'm so
Bro. Nathan's
have...
cry laughing over this woman that he tormented.
I was like,
think about yourself from her perspective.
The Shrek thing was just because it was funny. It wasn't meant to be.
This is literally what Nathan did. Okay, this girl's like, "Oh man, I really want to make something of my life. I guess I'll live in the closet and invite people in." Someone shows up, and it's this guy who's like, "Oh, you want a Photoshop? Here you go, idiot. You look like Shrek, you ogre." And then a few days later, it's like, "You're never going to find love because of your religious beliefs. Have you ever considered that? Why are you in the closet, weirdo? What a tiny little house. What are you, a hobbit or something? You're going to cry? You're going to cry, you little hobbit lady?" Anyway, here's a microwave, idiot.
Another time, she told us that she was almost in a superhero show, and then told Nathan the name of it, and Nathan looked it up and just goes to her, "This is softcore porn."
It wasn't even...
Nathan just wrecked this girl.
You made fun of this woman for... You made fun of this woman for trusting that a man would respect her beliefs, and then you turn around and you're like, "Oh, you do porn? Freak,
It
weirdo."
actually was. She got tricked into doing fetish pornography. She had no idea. It was the saddest thing.
To be fair, like at her age, she should have known fucking better. Like you should
have known better. It was like very clearly. It was like
the most naive person I've ever met.
Yeah, she was wonderful, and I hope she's doing well. And like, oh no, like looking back at the things I said, I'm an
If
asshole.
anyone listening knows this woman, tell her to reach out to me. I'll try to give her something, donation, something for as a reparation for Nathan's behavior.
Just being the worst person.
This poor woman.
We've actually talked a couple of times. We're on very good terms. I don't think she was as offended.
My last conversation.
What's your last message? Are you like still going to church, idiot?
My last conversation with her was her asking me, just sends me a photo and asked me to edit it, and I just didn't respond. I was just like, nah.
Oh, she's still around. She posted something 4 days ago.
Oh, she's alive. That's cool.
Yeah, no, she's alive. And...
The bare minimum. She's not dead. Yeah, she's fine. What's your problem? She's
Listen,
still
like this girl was like a prime candidate for getting like rape murdered in the middle of LA, right? Like the fact that she's still alive is like
the fact that she filmed an entire like superhero fetish video
I didn't know
for a subscription-based site, and she had no idea. She thought she was in like the Avengers.
Straight up. She was really telling us like they were going to teach me how to fight, like all this choreography.
This is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
I'm depressed.
We
now.
thought it was sad.
This is a Halloween episode. This is the spookiest thing you could have talked about. This woman whose like dreams were dying, and you just were like, "Yeah, here you go, dashing them against the rocks."
We thought it was sad. We thought it was so sad. We bought her a fucking microwave. Like,
here you go, loser.
Just like a bag of
another
like
time,
it was like
another time Nathan bought like a bottle of wine and gave it to her, and then she was like, "I'm a recovering alcoholic." In retrospect, Nathan was a fucking demon to this woman.
imagine the guy.
Oh
Goes,
yes, you did. Oh yes, you did. And then you give an alcoholic a bottle of water.
Oh my god!
To be fair, in Nathan's defense, I still to this day remember her Wi-Fi SSID and password because I was there and I was like, oh, the Airbnb studio Wi-Fi, and she goes, oh yeah, no, it's the name is God is here and the password is He is risen, and I was like, all right, first night here, I'm already scared. Like,
all right, maybe she deserved it.
I just feel I've always been really bad at reading social situations and just kind of doing whatever.
No, you're not, Nathan. You are a charismatic, sweet guy. Don't pull this out. Don't act like that's an excuse.
I have
you were on goblin mode. You were on demon behavior.
Your Honor. I was in goblin mode.
Another time we invited her to the shooting range we were going to, and she turns to Nathan and she goes, I don't know, is it dangerous? And he goes, yeah, they're guns.
What did she do to you? What was your grudge with this poor
Nothing.
woman?
I really liked her. This is just how I talk to
just
people.
Constantly hostile. Just always had
he
one
said all
ready
this
to
in
go.
a very nice way, but it's just like in retrospect, it was like just ruining her life.
Just straight from the hip. Do you think he still likes me? He's an actor.
Straight up. She's like,
can you edit me?
Well, to my credit, it was like he said he'd call me. It's been like 3 months. It wasn't like,
and she's like,
she was still holding on. I was doing it to be productive.
She's like, he's at a bachelor party, and he's like, and he hasn't called you.
Yeah, 3 months later, they had no contact.
No, I did feel very bad for her. I hope to God she never hears this episode. She will definitely be hanging from her after.
Oh, she was. I genuinely, unironically hope she's doing really well, and I actually would like go and hang out with her again and take her to the shooting
I
range.
would to say sorry. I've talked on this podcast about how cool the IRA was, and the thing I'm more worried about is Nathan's behavior to this poor woman.
Well, she's still alive, and that's all that counts. And she does not appear to be addicted to methamphetamine. So
that's a positive. Yeah, she was definitely
another one in the books.
But that was a funny trip. Like Nathan was like on all these fucking VIP lists for all these like game studios and shit and all. He was like working at E3 and stuff. And I was there like reporting on it at the time, and he just got me into every fucking party that like I shouldn't have been at. Like he got me into E3 like a day early, but I just walked in with him as he walked in because he had like a badge.
Pretty hot.
And
back in another life.
Like I remember like we were in like we went to this one party that was in a club built in the basement of an old bank, and it was in like the vault of the bank.
Yeah, I think that was Bethesda.
Yeah, and like one of the saddest things I realized was there was all these girls walking around wearing basically just tape over their nipples and shit, and I was like assumed they were waitresses, and then I asked one for a drink, and she was like, the bar's over there, and I was like, is this not a waitress? And we figured out that they were just paid by the game studio to hang around with the nerds because just like,
maybe we
just
should
be
censor
hot.
the name Bethesda.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
What the heck?
It was.
Did they think you all were that much of losers or something?
Fucking apparently. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is the saddest shit I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, it was it was a wild time. But yeah, no, that was very funny. And then like Nathan was meant to be the day that Nathan left. Nathan.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, Nathan. So like again, the bathroom is like in like this tiny studio apartment, so you can just hear each other through the walls. And Nathan's in having a shower, and I'm lying on the bed. And Nathan texts me, goes, "What date is it?" And I'm like, the 11th. And he's like, I hear like laughing from the bathroom. He goes, "I'm meant to be on a plane right now." And I was like, oh fuck. And Nathan had missed his flight back home. So then I watched Nathan call an airline and pretend that his dad died.
No, we've already talked about
He pretends that his dad died, and he's like strght faced to me.
I did not.
Completely straight faced going, and like he just it happened only today, and like I need to get back home. And he's like pretending to cry.
I had an excuse of some kind.
And they didn't give a fuck. They were just like, yeah, no, you still pay for a ticket, get fucked.
Yeah,
but there was so much weird shit that happened. I got really sick.
Yeah.
So when we went over, I have like terrible like fucking tonsil issues and like sinus issues, and like I got like a really bad throat infection, and I was like fucking hallucinating like temperature and shit. And Nathan very nicely went out to get me soup, and I was left in the place alone. And like the entire apartment at one point just lit up bright white, and like all car alarms started going off. Like it sounded like a fucking explosion, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And passed back out. And then like everyone came back, like the girl we were staying with and Nathan. And I was like, I was fucking asleep. and the whole place just lit the fuck up, and like there was an explosion, and she just goes, "Oh yeah, that happens sometimes. I don't know what that is." And I was like, "What the fuck? What do you mean you don't know what that is?"
What could that possibly have been?
I guess it could have been lightning, but I didn't hear any fucking thunder, so I don't know what the fuck happened. It was terrifying. Like I hated it. Is Wendigoon here? Is he? He's there. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
His
Can you
video's
hear me?
gone.
Oh my god.
Am I back now? Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
I heard the whole thing. I was just all right.
I could hear like raucous laughter. Like you have a very specific laugh.
I do, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I've got to say, between the stories I've heard tonight, I've had my opinion of both the Irish and the Chinese tarnished forever. Irrecoverable. Nathan.
Never put us in a room together. Apparently, we just caused shit.
We just
Our mutual
traumatized some
hate
poor woman in LA.
This poor woman. Oh man. I should start a
Just
GoFundMe.
Yeah, no, she was very nice. I felt very bad.
She
for
was actually really nice. Like none of the stuff that I said at any point was intended to be like hostile or mean.
You just gave an alcoholic a bottle of wine. Yeah, what's the issue?
I was just constantly in the corner of the room, just holding my head, trying not to burst out laughing. Like this is so fucking insane.
This is literally my interactions with basically everyone in real life. I just don't know what I'm saying until someone tells me afterwards.
Incredible. I love it. It's so good.
It's a problem.
But
it's a problem.
But we're probably gonna end soon, so we should try and get at least a bit of Halloween content in here. We should try and get.
I feel like we should get some Halloween content in.
Yeah. So actually, just very easily, does anyone here have any Halloween plans?
Fuck no. I think we're all old and bored.
I'm working on
hand
a
out
big,
kids usually.
I'm working on a big
I
Halloween
hand out
video right now. So
Okay, cool.
That's my current.
Nice. Is
My
that
hands, so
a
to speak.
secret operation? Can't talk much about it.
No, it involves the night vision and all that. So
Nice.
Oh, that's badass.
by the time this goes up, it'll probably already be out. So I kind of mentioned it earlier when I said I had to drive around and like I had to end up in a woman's house, and she gave me like the her old records and stuff. She's a really cool lady, by the way.
Yeah.
But
That's awesome.
The video is about something known as the Brown Mountain Lights.
Right.
In western North Carolina, there is a mountain known as Brown Mountain that's directly across from another mountain called Table Rock, and there is something called the Linville Gorge that runs in between. And for whatever reason, as reported since the 1930s, occasionally there will be what's known as the Brown Mountain Lights. There are these giant glowing orbs that kind of look like these like flames or balls of energy that will float up above the tree line and trace their way above the trees and over the ridge line.
Oh, I've heard of
Aliens.
these.
They are that's one of the theories. They are completely unexplainable. The theory used to be that everyone was hallucinating, and all these stupid rednecks didn't know what trains were, and it's just train lights, which is pretty funny. The other theory was that it's some kind of gas that burns up, but there's been no evidence of that. The current official theory is that for some reason, Brown Mountain makes a lot of ball lightning, and that's just the best they got. There's a bunch of stories that relate to it, stories that relate to murders that took place of wandering souls who are suffering and forever forced to roam above the woods. There's stories of like war, there's a bunch of Revolutionary War battles that happened here, like the dead soldiers with lanterns still seeking to find a way out. And there's a lot of cool narratives. So I went to a place called Wiseman's View, which Fate Wiseman is another part of the story and the legends with it. And he was one of the first people to document them. So the place he did it from is called Wiseman's View. So I went up to Wiseman's View. I got footage of the lights, which is pretty rare to happen. So I'm very happy that happened.
That's awesome.
So I got footage of it. I recorded me talking about it, telling the stories. I got like interview accounts from locals who have seen them a bunch. All these ghost stories of people experiencing other supernatural happenings in the gorge. And it's all on location. So it's my first like documentary, quote unquote. So that's my big.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
That's a great Halloween episode.
I'm very excited. Yeah. I'm very excited to see how it goes.
That's amazing.
That's going to be incredible.
I appreciate that. I hope. I'm kind of nervous, right? Because I've never done something like this. So there's the part of my brain that's like, it's gonna bomb. it's gonna
Nah,
make
dude,
it.
I'm sure it'll do great.
I think like I want to watch it just hearing.
Yeah,
about
that sounds awesome.
So,
I'm definitely gonna check that out. Fuck
I
yeah.
appreciate that. The hard thing, like, I know people will be interested if I can adequately convey that, right? Because like the most important part of a YouTube video is like the first 10 seconds. You have to like draw people in before they click off. So I need to find, well, I think I found a way because I filmed it, but I need to make the video in a rhythm to where people stay invested, and that's the current challenge I'm working through on thinking of the editing. But if all goes according to plan, it should be up Tuesday, so that'll be cool.
Awesome. Can't wait to see that, man. This is fucking great.
I appreciate that.
Do you have an editor, or do you edit your own videos and shit?
I edit my own stuff.
Nice.
I've got my friend Caitlin help whenever I have like an overload. If I need to like get 2 out for a deadline, I'll usually send 1 to her. But for like 80% of the videos, it's just me.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's just...
I
and you got to wear nods for it, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, so I not only wore nods because they're really helpful, and actually these aren't on, are they? No.
What are those, PBS 31s?
These are BNVDs. They're white phosphor BNVDs. So these are not only really helpful to like get to a lot of the back road locations and stuff like that, because the gorge itself is like 5 miles down a hiking trail. It's hard to get to at night without these. So not only are they cool and can do that, but the lights themselves are sometimes, like tonight they were, they're hard to make out with the visible eye, but they're still there. So night vision does a great job at amplifying them a ton. So if I put the night vision in front of the camera and film that, the camera gets a much better picture of the lights and stuff. So
awesome.
Very helpful. Yeah.
That's very clever. Lucas, I'm very sad that I didn't have my night vision in when you came here, but we're going to have to goon around with that.
Yeah, that'd be fucking
what
awesome.
did you
I'll
get?
Try that.
I've had 3 monoculars now at this point in my life, but I've never owned duals. I just kind of slaved 2 PBS 14s together for a while.
Okay.
I sold everything and basically hired my buddy Francisco, Mark IV Design, to make me some dual tubes.
Sick. Okay.
As he owns a company that does night vision stuff, and he does pretty good work. So I've got some dual tubes being worked on right now.
Very cool. Nice.
Yeah. Katana is the housing. I can't remember the company that... It's like one of those housings that is more for like Canada and Europe, I believe. You don't really see it a lot in the States.
Yeah, I was going to ask,
just like
isn't there some ITAR like weird stuff with night vision in Canada? Or is it just shipping?
There is, but you can still get tubes made by Photonis.
Okay,
so
all right.
I can still get like white phosphor tubes and whatnot.
Sick.
They're not going to be like L3 Harris like Gen 3 tubes, but they're not bad. They're not super.
Yeah, I've got a set of Photonis. Well, I was the middleman for a set that went to my girlfriend's dad, and like these are Elbit tubes. And to be 100% honest, I could not tell a difference in quality between the Elbits and the Photonis. They were great.
That speaks for their quality. I did not know that, so
yeah, like
it makes me feel a little better.
These are like expensive quote unquote Elbits, like super fancy and all that. And I got him Photonis, same thing, white phosphor BNVDs. I couldn't tell a difference between the two. They're really good quality.
Yeah, Nocturne Industries, it looks like, are the guys that make this housing.
Okay, cool.
They're like very lightweight dual tubes. I would like BNVDs, but actually that was one of the options. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to doing it. I allegedly I used to shoot at night a little bit in Minecraft in my private server, as it's not legal where I am.
Smooth.
BR, please beep parts of that.
That's definitely covered. They definitely
leave it all up. Actually, just let me get the demonetized list out.
Suicide,
bomb, terrorisms. Just get us canceled
until a bad experience in which I don't do it here anymore.
Oh, in your Minecraft server. What was in this Minecraft server? What was
by here I mean in my private Minecraft server.
Yeah.
Sometimes
what happened in Minecraft that made you stop that?
The mine cops showed up.
The mine cops showed up, bro. For real?
Yeah, but it was like
Did you?
I didn't even think it was that bad because it was like right after dusk. This was years ago now. I don't really care about talking about it, but they're like, well, we had reports that someone was shooting at night, and it was like it was night, but it was winter, so it got dark at like 4:30.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave I'll tell you guys how I got out of it off the air because there is actually a possibility of blowback.
But there's 2 mine cops in his back garden, so
so that leads us into the post podcast show where we dig a hole for no reason, just to dig it.
just fun times.
Yeah, no, I may or may not have committed a mine crime.
Mine crime.
A little mine holocaust, if you will.
I broke the server rules.
I broke the server rules and then shut the server down. But yes, I do not shoot at night here anymore. I go to places where I can.
Okay.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yes.
Dang.
Unfortunately, suppressors are not legal here, so it's a lot harder to get away with.
Really? I thought they were like
Yeah.
chill. It's the guns that aren't chill. Or is that England?
That's England.
Okay,
That's a lot of Europe. Here, suppressors are blanket banned.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, weirdly, I can get like body armor here, but I can't get a fucking gun. Like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Whereas body armor is banned here, at least like municipally banned. It's not banned all through all of Canada, but it's also unenforced. Like the pawn shop near me was selling body armor the other day. They don't care.
also, I say this, but I have also done like absolutely zero research. I just ordered it and it didn't get caught. So like,
I just sent it. We're just gonna see what happens.
Yeah, like
Oh my
I've talked
God.
about this a lot. Like the fact that I just like tend to buy shit and just hope to God that it's legal. Like I've had but, like the weirdest
I've done
shit.
that so many
The
fucking
weirdest
times.
shit is illegal here. 3 times I've ordered melatonin off the internet and it's been taken by the fucking customs, and I get an extremely annoying letter being like, prescription drugs are illegal to purchase over the internet. And I'm like, suck my fucking dick. It's melatonin. Who gives a fuck?
Melatonin's a prescription drug there?
Yep, it's like fucking like
Absolutely.
it's like a $60 fucking prescription. It's insane.
Next
That's
time someone hits me with the free healthcare argument, I'm going to reply with that.
Yeah, dude, you can't get fucking melatonin.
What the heck?
Yeah.
But I just had it shipped from like a Polish pharmacy and I still have it. So like fucking I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
they're just weird about shit here. It's very gay.
Yeah. Same. Something that I always recommend to people whenever you travel, and I was in the Dominican I guess like a couple months ago now. Or was it last month? Regardless, buy medicine that you can't get over the counter in whatever country you're from. So, for example,
This is not legal advice.
This is not legal advice. Keep it to Minecraft. Do it in your private server.
Yeah.
But when I say that, I'm not talking about like drugs. I'm saying like basic antibiotics. I bought a bunch of amoxicillin and I just flew it back. It was $20 for like a week's worth, which is more than you'd have to pay. But yeah, I got like amoxicillin, Prodom, which is just like an anti-diarrheal. It's stuff that you'd have to get prescriptions for. But yeah, just bring it back. Throw it in your medical kit. Not legal advice.
Yep.
Don't do this in Minecraft. It's a server rules.
Actually, I don't think it would be illegal. Like, I genuinely don't know.
I'm pretty sure trafficking drugs into a place where it's not illegal is a crime.
At least it's frowned upon.
I
It's
think
frowned
that's
upon.
the definition of trafficking.
Yes, fair point. Well, whatever. I bought my I brought my prescription antibiotics and I flew them back, and Canada Customs can suck me from the back.
Exactly. No, the last time I left Canada, when going through customs, I was like, it was a very small airport, and there's just like 2 security people or whatever. They're going through our shit, and they're just like, it's me and my buddy, and they're like, oh, where are you? This girl's like, where are you guys heading back to? And we're like, oh, we're going to Ireland. She's like, are you Irish? We're like, yeah, we are. She goes, oh, are you in the IRA? We're like, no. And then her like supervisor's like, Donna, you can't ask them that. And I was like, as if we're going to be like, yes. Oh fuck! I just get arrested on the spot. It was easier to catch terrorists.
I know what it is. She forgot the rules, but she thought that a leprechaun can never tell a lie.
Exactly. I'm only 5'7", so she saw me and was like, "Now's my chance." But like, it's it's wild. Her
Quick,
actual
the short
response.
one. I know how to get them.
her actual response was like, "Oh, I just watched lots of Sons of Anarchy, and like they're in that, and I thought maybe it was like a normal thing." And I was like, "No, you fucking idiot! Like that's how it fucking works."
That's actually a pretty American response. Like, oh, I heard it on TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. But
Like everyone who watches
holy
Peaky
shit.
Blinders and thinks British people are cool.
Peaky fucking blinders. But,
I
yeah.
order the Peaky
Order
Blinders.
the Peaky fucking blinders.
I'm more the Peaky Blinders. I'd say if I'm ever feeling down, I just say that to myself and it fixes it.
I like to. I just send my friends voice notes on Snapchat of me just doing Tom Hardy in that show, going Arthur, Shalom, Arthur, come here, my boy, Arthur, Shalom. It's that or me doing Captain Price saying gay shit.
Oh yes.
Number 6, going gay. This is shit all the time.
Going gay. Bravo 6. That was excellent.
Suck me from the back.
I'm too tired. This will set me off. Oh boy.
But back to Halloween, I had like no plans for it except for carving pumpkins with Nathan. I was gonna just make mine a normal pumpkin, but put hot glue around the mouth and write cum guzzler on it. But I didn't get to do that before I left.
I cannot put that outside. My homeowners association. Will fucking kill me. If that's the thing, I get in an armed standoff with the police over. I swear to
Nathan
God.
holding the cum guzzler pumpkin with like a Glock on the police.
Make a come and take it flag, but it's the pumpkin.
Just covered in.
Oh no!
Is Halloween a thing in Ireland?
Oh yeah, it's huge here. We fucking dude, it's our fucking holiday. Samhain is literally ours. We invented it.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Although it's very annoying that in Halloween they call it Samhain. No, it's
Yeah.
Samhain. It's spelt Samhain because the Irish is retarded, but it's pronounced Samhain.
Yeah.
That's we invented that shit. It's like so it's honestly though we don't do it as big as like America does. Like America fucking loves Halloween. You guys have like tons of decorations
Oh yeah,
and shit.
We do.
The spirit Halloween's everywhere. That's
Yeah, no, here it's just an excuse for anyone over the age of 13 to get incredibly drunk and under to get like wrecked off sweets. And that's that's basically it. But
yeah.
no, yeah, it's like I usually don't do much for Halloween. I like I don't have any fucking parties or shit planned. But it seems like in America there's always events on for that shit. You always have like fucking loads of like random bars hosting events and things.
Yeah.
We do vibe, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, we need more Halloween content.
We need more Halloween content. Every year I hand out candy to the kids. Earlier I said I hand out kids for legal reasons. That was a
On job kids.
that was a Freudian slip.
I've witnessed it. Yeah, he does in fact hand out children. Someone should stop him immediately. He keeps giving them pumpkins that have obscene things on them.
Come and take it.
You imagine the kid turning up with his mom. They got this from the house down the road, and it's just a pumpkin with cum guzzler written on it. Hot glue going at the mouth.
Jail, straight to jail.
I just realized
no trial,
the flag that says
Nathan
come
get
and
dragged
take
away like, where is the law?
is
Where
UM.
is the law? on
Where,
this?
show me where it's at.
but yeah, I usually hand out candy, and I go really overboard in my costume, and every year at least a couple kids cry, but you know, whatever, that's just the price I have to pay.
This year I'm going to put my airsoft Glock in the mouth of a pumpkin. Right, I'm going to fucking do it on it and just put that outside.
I'm gonna do it.
Just open the door, like airsoft Glock in your mouth.
I'm going to make Columbine look like Elmo's Playhouse, like shit like that.
On the pumpkin.
Yeah, just give him Elmo arms holding a Glock.
On the pumpkin. Evil.
But,
Oh my god.
no, yeah. I think I do. Yeah, sometimes I hand out the candy to kids and shit like that. But like, I honestly, I'm often not here. I just don't give a fuck. I don't. Yeah, Ireland in general, you have to stay away from Dublin because it's always like there's always like massive riots at Halloween, and like kids will do a thing called bonfire night where they go and steal a load of wooden pallets from around Dublin and they build a massive fucking pyre and then explode it. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
Based.
pretty based.
You keep giving me conflicting information nonstop.
So like you go to like inner city areas of Ireland, like Darndale or like Ballymun, and you will have like you will be walking down the street and a 13-year-old on a scrambler bike will just come flying by you and like knock another kid out. And like that's generally day to day in places like that. And then they do things like see a load of shit and set it on fire or like stuff like that. But
See, I don't know what to think anymore.
yeah, it's great.
I'm a broken man.
Yeah.
It's a varied country with a deep history. But yeah, it's a Halloween this year. I'm probably just gonna fucking stay in and do fuck all. But
Yeah. Watch Terrifier 2.
if that's actually out, I will watch Terrifier too. I fucking love Terrifier.
Yeah. I think that comes out in, I want to say 2 or 3 days. I'm watching it instantly. Can't wait.
There's a film I want to see. It's going to be streaming on like I think the 25th called Barbarian. That apparently is very very good. It's got a ton of great reviews.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's got like Bill Skarsgård in it. I think. I think Justin Long maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah. So that'll I'll definitely check that out. I watched the Jeffrey Dahmer series recently. I finished that.
Is that any good? I've heard conflicting things as well.
I will say I think it does it better. I found a lot of those true crime things that are like dramatized to be a bit in poor taste, especially if you're talking about real life victims. But I feel like it did a pretty good job of like focusing heavily on the stories of the victims before like they were killed by Dahmer. So it isn't just like this is a random guy that was eaten by fucking Dahmer. It's like a deep dive on their history and what they and their life and what they were like as a person and stuff like that. And then they get eaten by Dahmer. Right. It's decent. The main actor Evan Peters is very good. He's very good in everything he's in, and it's definitely up there in terms of like any of those kind of dramatized true crime things I've watched. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sick. Very cool.
Yeah. I wish I had more in terms of just like horror content, but my brain is, well, it sucks. I consume a lot of it, and whenever push comes to shove and I have to talk about it, nothing is scarier though than the world we're living in.
All right, so like before we go, we'll just do a very quick one. Everyone's top 3 favorite horror movies.
Fuck, dude. I'm gonna out myself here. It's a terrible movie, but I don't care. Event Horizon.
That movie rules. That's awesome.
That movie fucking rules.
Event Horizon's cool. I wish they would have let them keep the original cut.
Same.
The missing cut.
Yeah.
That would go so hard.
That would.
The whole story behind that, how like the original reels are like fucking gongs that were stored in a salt mine and shit, is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say, what would my top 3 be? I would say The Thing has to be up there.
Yeah. That's on my list as well. 1984, John Carpenter.
Yep. Honestly, probably Wreck. Wreck's a great movie.
Dude, that was gonna be mine. I was gonna say that was gonna be like,
oh shit, yeah.
That was like the first like real found footage movie that I kind of watched. I remember being not very young. I was probably like 14 or 15, and watching it on like a shitty laptop in my room alone at night, and being like legitimately fucking like freaked out, being like, holy shit, this shit is like
very immersive.
They still have effects I don't entirely know how they did. Like the scene where the fireman just like falls and hits the ground, like, and there's like no cut as they like moves it. I'm like, how the fuck? That was incredible.
It's a perfect use of the found footage genre outside of a gimmick. It is a like very slow tension. It keeps itself grounded enough to where you understand what everyone's doing. You're never confused about motivation or even where they're at, and it's a good payoff. Wreck. I don't say perfect, but it's probably the best you can do that kind of movie.
I agree. I think it's probably the best found footage. Like, I mean, obviously the original would be like Blair Witch, but like I was like, although Blair Witch is good, it's without knowing I feel like it was probably a lot scarier at the time when they had the whole thing built up around and people thought it was actually real and like stuff like that. Watching it now, you're just kind of like,
you can't really get away with that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
It's not like Cannibal Holocaust tried that and it actually worked. They had to go to court.
They sure did.
That was back in the 70s when everyone was really fucking dumb.
Yeah, the first found footage movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what my third would be. I'm too tired to go through all of them in my brain right now. However, I will say one of the like top 10 would probably be Hereditary. I still love that movie.
Great film.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love every single movie A24 has put out in the last few years.
Yeah, I keep expecting them to get worse. Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah. Men was very good. It was definitely a little... Yeah.
Thank you. I was going to ask dude in the voice. Thank you, my guy.
Over 6, I like men.
A movie that it's probably in my top 10. I don't know if it's my third, but I can't think of one, so I'm just going to throw it in here anyway. The Sadness.
That was fucking good, dude. You made me watch that, and like I was like the first 5 minutes, I'm like, and then like someone gets like their face clawed off with like deep fryer oil, and I was like, yeah, no, this rules.
Yeah, it's sold.
Yeah.
It was also just very, very. I've never seen Taiwanese movies before,
Same.
much less Taiwanese horror, and it was a perfect example of genre cinema. And I think the closest thing we're going to get to live action crossed adaptation.
Yeah.
For anyone who read that comic and was a sick fuck like us growing up. But yeah, Isaiah, I really recommend The Sadness. It's just a fun piece of genre.
Sadness, I don't.
It's
very good.
I've heard the
it's
name
very
before.
good.
Hold on.
It's
I would like for me, I'd say honestly, you guys have said like the ones I'd probably say like I think in terms of found footage, definitely Wreck is my favorite by far. Okay, so I have a one that like it like is very specific to me due to the experience I had watching it. I back in like when it came out, remember Paranormal Activity? Paranormal Activity came out.
oh my god!
So when that came out, I had swine flu because I get fucking every disease going, and I was on a drug for that called Tamiflu, and with an unbeknown side effect to Tamiflu, I did not know about this, is hallucinations. So I watched Paranormal Activity. That would have been about maybe 16 or so, and was like more freaked out by it than I should have been because I was like, I've watched horror movies for years. This should be fine. I was like, why am I so freaked out by this? And then for like the next like week, I thought I was losing my mind because shit would happen. Like I would like go to the bathroom and come back, and shit in my room would have moved. Like there'd be like stuff would move around. I was like, what the fuck? I remember like waking up one night.
Drug-induced paranoia due to Tamiflu.
Like I woke up one night and there was someone standing over me breathing, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ. And like I legitimately was like, I'm going insane. I'd be in a room and be convinced there was someone like in the corner, and I'd be like, oh what the fuck? And I in my logical brain was like, this isn't happening, but like in all your senses are like, you can see this. And I was like, oh my god. And so after like a week or so, I say this to my mother, like I'm like, I've been feeling a bit on edge lately. And she's like, oh yeah. And I was like, yeah, like I feel like I've been like seeing things and sort of thing. And she was like, yeah, no, one of the side effects is hallucinations. I didn't tell you because I thought it might worry you and put it in your head. And I was like, I thought I've been losing my fucking mind for the past week straight.
Well, funny story about that, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would have used the opportunity to fuck with you so hard. It's like, oh yeah, that's the Hat Man.
Yeah, straight up.
He's
I just see the Hat Man standing over me, just fucking panicking.
No, there's no hallucinations. What are you talking about? Go back to bed.
Straight up thought I was going insane for like a week straight. It was fucking awful. So I like for that, like that movie scared the shit out of me, but it was also because I was on drugs the entire time.
Understandable.
But, yeah, no, I say Wreck is my favorite found footage. The original Halloween, I think, still rules. I love the original Halloween.
Halloween
Yeah,
goes
movie
hard.
fucking rules.
In terms of just like shitty, like fun slasher movies, nothing beats Friday the 13th. I think it's easily the best ones.
Yeah,
And then probably Hereditary. I fucking love Hereditary. I think it's a great movie.
Hereditary's great.
Hereditary is fantastic.
As far as foreign cinema, I don't know if it counts as horror, but I Saw the Devil is incredible. I love
Yep.
that movie.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
that movie's freaky.
yeah, it's really fucking good.
That one's really good. What was that one? Oh, The Wailing. I watched The Wailing not long ago. It was
I
really
haven't
good.
seen that.
It's pretty.
That's
It's
good,
pretty
yeah.
good. It's a Japanese flick.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it's Korean.
Korean,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
Korean film about this essentially a curse that begins to befall a family. It's pretty freaky. I liked it a lot.
There's a film
Yeah.
that came out not too long ago, another Korean film, but it has your man from The Walking Dead in it, Stephen Yeun, Burning. I haven't watched it, but apparently it's
Who's in
very,
that?
very good.
Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you what
Burning
I am
movie.
super hyped for. This is the
What?
season to be a horror video game fan. Because
yes,
Dead Space?
yes.
Alan Wake 2, Dead
Yeah.
Space remake,
Dead Space.
Callisto Protocol, Resident Evil 4
Ugh.
remake, and
Silent
3
Hill?
Silent Hill games.
Yeah.
Fucking
It is the boys' time to shine right now.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yes, I was so worried. I saw like a friend of mine who's super into Silent Hill messaged me like, oh my god, Konami's announcing something to do with Silent Hill on Thursday, and I'm like, oh yeah, I bet it's going to be a pachinko machine. Oh, it's going to be like it's going to be like a new cell phone game or something. It's a fucking Silent Hill 2 remake. I am so excited.
They did
Dude,
that.
I'm not-
Like I had lost all faith in Konami.
Straight up, I like literally only about like a month ago, I got a Steam Deck and I put like all the original Silent Hill games like on there.
Man, I'm so excited for it. I'm excited for Silent Hill because like Silent Hill 2, the remake looks cool. And there's that Silent Hill F coming out, which looks really cool. Like this, it's set in the '60s. The art style looks fantastic. I'm ready for that. The only thing I'm a little about is, as someone who's never properly played through the games, I wish they would have started at 1, like Resident Evil did when they did all the remakes. But whatever, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Now, Resident Evil 4 is the game I am like the Resident Evil games 7, 8, and then the 2 and 3 remake are some of my favorite games ever. Resident Evil 4 is shaping up to be my favorite game ever. Like, looking at it, it looks so good. I'm pumped.
Yeah, that was my first. That I'll out myself. I got introduced to Resident Evil late. My first Resident Evil game was Resident Evil 4 on the Wii, and it is to date one of the best games I've ever played.
I have I myself even more. I have never even finished Resident Evil 4, but I've been playing it through in VR, and it's fucking great.
I hear the VR is pretty fun. I hear people.
It's very good. It's very, very good. Yeah, I'm a big VR fan.
Fun. I haven't done the VR stuff. I want to, now that I have a PC that can run it. I want to, because that's like a whole new realm of, you know, experience, so to speak.
Yeah. The problem is generally that it lacks like regular good games. Like there's a few out there that are really great, but like the timeline on which new ones release that are particularly good is very fucking limited. Like I always suggest Boneworks. I always describe Boneworks as like, Boneworks is not a game I've played, it's a place I've been. Like it's that fucking like immersive. It's really fucking good.
That sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's like you can look up stuff about it. You'll see like Nathan's cat, Ellie. I love Ellie. You can look up like videos and stuff on Boneworks. Like it's incredible. And like I said, it does a lot of this like environmental storytelling. Like you'll come across like TV screens with like real life actors just like talking about shit that's happening. Like you can like the whole story is basically from like just reading like random documents you find throughout the game. It's all physics based, so you've got an entire physics based body. Like you have to like pull yourself up like to like, climb up stuff. You've got like all the guns work like real guns. Like you've got to actually like rack the slide and shit and stuff. Like it's very, very fun. Highly suggest Boneworks, but like it's hard to find good VR games, but there are some out there.
When Lucas was here, he built me a gaming PC, which is wonderful. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the printer.
And anytime. And we've been playing Cyberpunk. But he installed a whole host of mods. You know what? I'm going to out myself. Cyberpunk 2077 is like one of my favorite games ever. I really liked it when it was basically unplayable and it crashed every 30 seconds.
So I actually remember I was playing on PC, right? And I was like, and then it's like, how is it? And I was like, it's good, but like it's very buggy and there's like I'm not too sure about it. And I was like, I'm not sure about it's going to run your PS4. And Nathan gets the game on PS4. And I'm like, after a while, I text him like an hour later, I'm like, how is it? And he just texts me a video. He goes, I'm driving to buy a PS4 Pro.
Man, that guy is dedicated.
Yeah, just sold his PS4 that day and immediately drove to another dude to take out a PS4 Pro and bought it off him.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I sold it to my friend Liv. And I think I was only out like $100, but I really enjoyed it then. I really want to experience this world. I'm really sold on the story. The game is fucking broken, but I really want to experience the rest of the story. And now revisiting it 2 years later, just beat it again. Wonderful. I would go as far to say as it's fixed, but it is made infinitely better playing it with a whole bunch of mods that give you realistic penis physics and just like running around in slow motion, beating the fuck out of absolutely everyone with a giant dildo bat.
Well, like it was fixed by modders primarily. Like all the there's like physics. Literal like performance patches released by the modders. Like it was been hugely held up by like the really dedicated modding community that have added like cut content. Like someone invented a whole metro system so you could actually use the train. Someone invented like a flying car system so you can fly cars and shit.
It's kind of sad to me because it's like everyone wants it so bad. Like the world's so cool, the concept's so neat that they will bleed and suffer and be like, thank you, sir. Another just like these sad broken children. The world does interest me enough that I would be willing to get into it. Maybe when if I ever slow down on uploads, I might. But like,
no,
it
I
looks
feel
cool.
that
it looks really cool. I watched. I haven't finished it, but I'm watching Edge Runners right now. And,
dude, it's so
Edge
good.
Runners is fantastic.
See, I never like during this 2077 stuff. I was like, yeah, it's cool. Maybe if it was like better or whatever. But watching Edge Runners, I'm like, I want to play Cyberpunk. Like,
Yeah, straight up,
it's
that's it.
effectively done it. It seems like
Yeah.
it did that for everyone. Like, the player numbers are
It
up.
did.
Yeah.
It did it for me, dude. Like I said to Nathan, I said every game studio when they're developing a game should immediately hire an anime studio just in case the game is shit, because you can just
Yeah.
revitalize it by doing a sick anime.
Yeah.
Like,
It works.
It helps too.
works.
Like, yeah, everything in the anime is also in the game. Like
Yeah.
all that wacky shit that they do, you can fucking do that, and it's great.
yeah, like but it's funny, like despite like the initial shitty launch, PR still like gets me. Like they've still got me hook, line, and sinker because they've got that DLC coming out, and I'm legitimately excited for it. Even though I should have learned my fucking lesson with Cyberpunk, but I have not. So, like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited, but seeing. I hope that they've learned their lesson. It's a very expensive lesson.
I don't know, man.
But what kind of got me back into it too was seeing the creator of Cyberpunk, because it was written in the 80s. A lot of people don't know that the world is a lot older than the game.
Mike Pondsmith, the original black nerd.
Yeah, I want to bring him on. It's so fucking bad. I have no idea how to get him, but like I want to talk because like everything goes so deep in that world. Everything about like politics, the technology, everything has an explanation layered on a pile of other explanations.
Yeah, like I downloaded. I've got a copy of the it's because it was a tabletop game originally. I've got a copy of, like, the original manual. When Nathan was playing, I was just reading him out the fucking lore, and it's just pages and pages of like the like different political factions, the like different like corporations, like the tax system, like all this shit. And I was like, this dude wrote fucking everything about this world. It's all here.
Yeah. And what gets me too is he's like, this is a warning. This is where I see America going, and it is so interesting in how he came to those conclusions.
If America goes the way of letting me have like 6 cyber arms and Sandevistan, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, that'd be fucking dope.
That's an even trade-off in my opinion.
Use it for everything. I'll get cyber psychosis. I don't give a fuck.
No, it goes hard. I'll play it eventually.
After
Resident Evil.
Screw it. I want Manus Blades. But yeah, realistic penis mod.
I like how you're like, no, the mods fixed it. They fixed the penis. That's all that mattered. That's what was broken.
I highly recommend it. It is fixed, more or less.
I just got Gotham Knights, the new like Batman sort of game or whatever. I'm playing it on my.
Oh yeah,
go ahead. I didn't mean to stop.
It fixed the penis. It fixed the boob jiggle. That's all you fucking need.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started playing Gotham Knights. I literally just started playing it today, and like so far it seems decent, but like it's got a lot of bad reviews, and like, honestly, it is incredibly poorly optimized. Like I got it today. I've only played like the first what's kind of like few like first kind of main level, the like first kind of Nightwing like introduction level, but it seems decent so far. I'm enjoying it, but like I am also a sucker for Batman shit. I fucking love Batman, so I'll basically play anything that's got Batman on it.
The Arkham games are some of my favorite games of all time.
Dude, they rule. Like you can kind of turn my webcam on quickly. You can kind of see it on like that frame up there is an original Batman inking. It's like the actual page the artist's drawn on.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. I love it. But
so cool.
yeah, it's like I just love Batman shit. It's like I like used to. I've got a fucking Batman suit worth about like $4,000 that I used to use to visit like kids in hospitals and shit. I fucking love Batman shit. But
that's awesome,
so
man.
far the game's okay. It seems decent. Yeah, I used to enjoy doing that. Yeah. But there's I've seen a few like reviews and some kind of iffy dialogue and shit like that, so like I'll see how it goes, but so far it seems okay. I can't recommend it yet, but it seems all right. I like
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic is the best way to put it. Yeah, I will say it's definitely shittily optimized. Like I know I'm playing it on Steam Deck, but even people on like PC are like struggling to get 60 frames. Like even on it's locked 30 on like consoles, even on PS5, and the people are dipping to like 25 frames. So like I'm trying to play it at a locked 30, and I'm getting like decent performance, but like it's but I say if you I imagine like, you know, a few patches or some shit, it'll probably run okay. I just assume all games these days are released way ahead of when the devs actually wanted to release it, you know.
I don't know how why it's like that when Arkham Knight looks so good, you know.
What is happening with Isaiah's camera?
Oh, I spun it around. I put it back up on top.
Okay, I thought you were in the back rooms or something.
Yeah, I can be, but you never know.
You got no knocks.
I was gonna say it's so weird.
Immediately
comes on the podcast twice because no knocks.
That's the line in the sand.
Yeah. Something I've been trying to find a custom shop to do is install just like a kill switch in my car that'll turn off all the external lights, so I can drive around with nods. And I have a Prius, so it's really fucking quiet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I do blackout
fucking gay,
driving.
though.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's what makes it so great.
Drive around at night while the lights off to pick up men.
That's good. You got him.
Dude, it's fucking fun. It's fucking fun. Oh my god, going guy.
Over 6, going guy.
Blackout
But
driving.
I
Blackout
feel like
driving's
we should
awesome.
probably wrap it up because it's like 6 a.m. there.
Yeah.
No,
It
like,
do be getting there.
Lucas, it must be like 7 a.m. where you are. It's 3 a.m. here. It's got to be 2 a.m. in Isaiah's time.
It is.
We're just like, it do be getting late.
It be
It
getting
is
late.
7
My
a.m.
cat's
here.
looking at me all pissed off.
Yeah, it's 7 a.m. here.
Jesus Christ, go
Agony.
the fuck to bed, dude. Anyways, both of you, dad advice.
Go.
Yes.
Give that advice?
My dad advice is buy illegal prescription medications, smuggle them back, don't get caught.
Yeah,
Yes.
Big brother advice. Got it. What's my dad advice? Don't buy anything that is like an electronic stock or a stock that's a non-tangible asset, because the way economies go, they will rise and drop to whatever benefits the people up top. What you need for your investments is a tangible asset that appreciates in value, because then you have a stock of a sort that you have control over and has actual use to you if need be. So don't spend your money trying to make more money. Spend your money on something that you could need or potentially make more money, like guns.
All right, my super quick dad advice: learn a skill that can make you money. Do not rely on money from an employer. Do not rely on money from like an outside source. Find a way to develop a skill that you can offer to other people and get paid directly, whatever it is, whether that be everything from fucking lawn care to like fucking online marketing to whatever the fuck you can do. Just something you can go, today I'm gonna make money and get some sort of client and make some cash.
There you go. And don't rent out your studio apartment in LA.
Yeah,
Not to
don't
Nathan.
sleep.
He'll
in the closet.
emotionally devastate you.
Yeah, that's the thesis of the episode. Do not rent to Nathan.
He will turn you into Shrek and then try and get you to become an alcoholic again.
Evil.
Oh god. Okay, bye.